What's up, everybody? Sensei here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another video. I want to thank everybody for tuning in on this Friday slash Saturday late night cap stream. We're going to wait for some people to start filtering in. Once you come in, please smash the like button to help us slide up the YouTube algorithm. And I want to bring to the stage EUC Seedbug. Thank you so much for joining us. We have Mr. Jose. Always a pleasure, my
What's up?
brother. And Mr.
How are you? How are you, everyone?
Represent. Again,
Good.
thanks everybody for joining us. This is going to be fun. We're going to sit here. We're going to run down some topics. We're going to take and bring in all the viewers, get some questions, and just see what's going on in the EUC slash PEV community because we're all one big community, whether it's an e-bike, one wheels, e-skate, whatever. Come here, have fun, and let's get it done. Diddy done. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to talk about a big event coming up, right? Now, I always tell people if you can make it to events, make it to events, man. They're fun. It's not even so much just the racing aspect of it, but it is like EUC University. You will meet riders of all levels and you will learn a lot. So I want to hear everybody's take on events. And of course, if anyone is going to Amped Electric Games. And Jill, we'll start with you.
Well, you already know I'm going to AMP.
Yes.
1 week from today, I'm going to do trials for racing. I'm really excited.
Nice. And do you have the dates? I think it's
It's like the 4th through the 6th.
okay, yeah. Friday to Sunday, October 4th through October 6th in Bentonville, Arkansas. Seth Johnson and Amp Games are doing great things. And are you excited, Jill?
Yes, I'm very excited. But I'm a little nervous because I just got braces. And, well, see, the thing is, I had partial braces and they dug into my cheeks when I wore my helmet. And now I've got full braces and I haven't even tried my helmet on yet. And I'm really scared. So I think I'm just going to have to like wear a mouth guard or something.
Yeah.
I'm going either way. I'll get
Nice.
the scores. I don't care.
Now, how are you driving or how are you getting it? Are you flying, driving?
I'm borrowing a hybrid car, driving 4,000 miles round trip. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. It's my first big road trip.
Wow.
Yep. I'm going with my boyfriend. We're packing both our big old wheels. And we want to stop along the way, but it takes 2 days to drive there.
Wow. That's a lot of miles.
Yeah, I know.
That is a lot.
America's crazy.
Yeah.
Big country.
That is nuts. And what wheel? Are you rocking the Sherman S?
Yeah, Sherman S, but I am upgrading the pedals, the tire, and the suspension this weekend.
Okay, what are your pedals and what's the upgraded tire going to be?
So I have the stock tire,
Mm-hmm.
which is a Kenda. I don't know what number.
Okay.
But I upgraded to the Shinko 244, which is a really good off-roading tire.
Right. Yeah. That's a good tire.
And
You might have had the Kenda 262 maybe. I know that comes on some of the Shermans. I don't know if they're still rolling with that stock.
You know, I'm looking right at it. I don't know. It's the off-road tire they come with. And then for my suspension, I'm going from 66 pounds to a 70-pound progressive link spring.
Nice.
I'm also going to be rocking a thicker, like a heavier oil, which I'm nervous about, but they didn't have the right one at the motorsports store, so we'll see.
And you'll be fine.
He said it might affect my rebound, but that's fine. I don't care. And then pedals is E-Ride pedals with the toe lifts. They're purple. I'm excited.
You guys purple
about
ones?
that.
I didn't know they sold purple ones.
What?
Yeah. I didn't know they sold purple ones.
Me neither. I thought I'd have to get like yellow. It's so ugly, but yay.
Yeah, they have
purple.
yellow, red, black, I think like a gray tone.
Yeah, they had gray too.
Spartacus, what's happening, brother? Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, this is going to be fun. Now, we're going to run down the gauntlet of just questions and give full support to Jill. Everyone, go sub to her Facebook or Instagram. When this goes up, on YouTube. I'll put all the links in the description below. But I'm rooting for you because I said that I think last time that you need to get to some of these events because I think you're going to do very,
Well,
very
I'm
well.
really curious because all the women that I've met haven't been as intense as I am when it comes to like the type of writing I do. So I'm just really curious to see what kinds of women I meet there.
Oh,
And
they're going to bring it. Oh, yeah. They definitely,
Mhm.
they're going to bring it.
I'm nervous. I tend to get really scared in competitive things because I don't want to hurt anybody, you know?
Yeah, I
Like
get that.
racing, I don't want to get too close to you and push you over or something. I don't know.
I think that's my biggest fear too. And I like
Yeah,
to
I
hear
don't
you
want to hurt
speak on it.
anybody.
It's like taking somebody out in a race, man. I'd rather give up a position than knock somebody over. That's just me. I don't.
Too.
Yeah. We got here.
Hopefully we all have wheels
We
then.
got Green Master Mike. What is going on, my brother? Thank you for joining us again. This is great, guys. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna jump in and just start going down some of the what's going on in the EUC community. And I think one of the big things and we're gonna skip down. We're gonna go with Jose. We're gonna go with you first, and we're going to talk about EUCs right now. We have the new EUCs coming out, right? So, what EUC has caught your eye, and where would you like to see, or what would you like? What features would you like to see on upcoming EUCs that you don't see on them right now, as far as safety, quality, that whole type of thing? What's your take on it, and what wheel has caught your eye so far? We're just bouncing down. So, Jose.
Okay. Well, actually, buying an EUC is not just could be a hobby, but it's an expensive hobby. So you got to do your research, and you got to see the way you ride, what city you live in, and see what fits your riding needs. Right now, is the Falcon because the Falcon is kind of like I'm looking for something that kind of replaces the Tesla T3 or the
Mhm.
Tesla T2 because it's so portable when you take public transportation. It's easy to get on there. It's small. It's compact. Still fast at 31 miles an hour. Well, let's call it 30 or 29 miles an hour.
Right.
It's still a very wheel that's in my mind. It hasn't been replaced. I mean, I got the Emotion V12, I think,
Mhm.
which is at 68 pounds. I live on the second floor, and you know what? I'm kind of in shape, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, man, this wheel, and I only have to go one flight of steps.
Yeah.
But the Tesla T3 is just like, it's so easy. But then again, I think what makes the Tesla T3 is just, how old is that wheel? I mean, it's been around for quite a while.
Yeah, dude. That thing has to be going on what 4 years now? 4 years? Or
And
maybe three, because I had the Tesla V2 and the T3 came out shortly after that. So it has to be going on at least 3.5 years, maybe closer to 4, somewhere in there. But
and And you know what I noticed? I noticed that the Emotion V12 is the same price as the Tesla T3. I'm like, I mean, like, wait a minute. I mean, the Emotion which I have has
Mhm.
so many features. It's rainproof. I don't ride my wheels in downpouring rain. I mean, if I get caught out there in the rain, I must. But I don't go out of my way. I don't. It's just. Again, I like to see other riders and talk to other riders to see what they say. But the ultimate test is riding it yourself. You
Right.
know, that is the best thing because maybe like, oh, it's too heavy. My thing is weight. I mean, I would I like to have a portable wheel and a
Mhm.
high speed wheel. I mean high speed by size and weight. Like the new Begode, the Blitz. I got my eyes on that thing, like But then again, I have to have a portable wheel at the same time. I
Right.
just won't do one, and that's it. Did I miss any of your questions?
Nah, I think that's good, man. Like I said, it's always good to hear from other riders and their angle and their geometry, the angle they're taking to get to their point, man. Great answers. And let's jump over to Dell. I'm curious to see what your take is. What wheel are you eyeballing right now? What features would you like to see, and just your whole take?
I don't really think there's really any that I'm eyeballing at the moment. I'm still so happy with my links.
Okay.
And it's like, I mean, I think the Sherman L would be great, but I don't think I need the Sherman L because my links will get me 100 kilometers or like 60 miles.
Mm-hmm.
And I could fast charge it at like 15 amp and then have a full battery in like an hour and a half. So I think the size, I don't think I'd really want to go much bigger, but I'm sure it'll be a great wheel. But I think that one, if I had to choose one of the current ones coming out, it'll be that. But I'm interested to see what NOSFET's got to offer. Because apparently they're going to be produced by Leaperkim. So it's basically Leaperkim's answer to EB.
Oh, Extreme
We got
Bull.
Kingsong people and
That-
people involved. Like everybody's coming together to make the ultimate wheel. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
Wow. Now this is the thing. Young Volt, thank you so much. So much. Everyone, check out Young Volt's YouTube channel. He's throwing up some nice content. That's going to be interesting because when you really can't find out a whole lot of information. Pretty much what I found out was on Will Good Time. Great channel.
Me too.
Yeah, but this was my thing now.
I'll have to get Rob on one day.
Make the wheel as good as a Leaperkim wheel. Because I'm like, I believe it's Jack from Electric Dreams, and then one of the developers that used to work for Emotion. Don't quote me on that, but I think
suspension.
Song. Didn't he design the S18 and the S?
And the S22 suspension.
Okay,
He's got the patents, so they'll be using that kind of suspension.
Okay, King Song, my fault. But that's what I was saying. I was like, are they going to make the wheel as good? Because would you want to make a wheel better than one of your main wheels? So I'm kind of curious to see how they kind of equal that out a little bit, man. So yeah.
So if they're still producing it, they're still going to be making the money. So I think they'll just see it as an opportunity rather than competition.
I'm sorry for laughing. We got
Primo's funny. I know. I saw Primo's comment. I'm like, what?
Primo made an entrance. EUCs are trash. Talk about one wheels instead. What's up, Sensei and friends? What's up, Primo? Always a pleasure. Good day, Simon. Thank you so much. This is great. So for me, the wheel that I was looking at two wheels, and I've been going back and forth. Me and Green Master Mike here, we've been going back and forth. First, I was thinking about the Master V4, right? Then I got the demo, the Blitz. I love the Blitz, but I'm looking at the price difference. I was like, I don't know. I do want a wheel with a BMS. I want something that's more waterproof. So I think I'm leaning more toward the Blitz. As far as what I would like to see on wheels, safer wheels, I think they're fast enough. Again, I might get.
Yes, I agree.
I think I might end up getting some.
My wheel's faster than
I want an 80.
Backlash.
They're fast enough, dude. Right now, I can understand, if you're on a track, but for the street, these things are fast enough. I think we have to move toward better quality and safety. I was looking at some people take the Blitz apart and like some of the hardware, the screws were stripping out and stuff like that. So, if you're paying that much money for a wheel, I think the quality has to go up a bit. But my thing is safety, quality, speed. When you're doing 60 plus miles an hour, 50 plus miles, heck, 40, even 35 is fast, man. So that's what I'm looking at. Blitz wheel, safety, quality, and yeah. So Jill, what are your?
I have a lot of opinions.
Okay, let's hear.
Go ahead, share them.
New wheels that I like. I love the Sherman L because I came from the V13, and it feels like they put the V13 and the Sherman S together, and it became better. It's so smooth, and the trolley handle is amazing. And I was going up this hill. We were going like 40 miles per hour. I don't know how many that is in Australian units. A lot. We're going up this hill, descending it. And I was so scared. I was trying to keep up with the Sherman L and my Sherman S, and I felt like I was going to cut out. And it was like my body started being like, stop, slow down. And I was freaking out.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, the Sherman L is amazing. It's big, though. That's the only thing. I don't need another big wheel. I have two big wheels already. So I
Yep.
was looking at the Master V4 too,
Mhm.
but my boyfriend cut out on a Master, and I'm kind of soured towards them a little. I
Okay.
wouldn't get one for street riding. I'd probably get one for trails to like beat up. So it's really good price. It was like $2,000 something for a
Yeah.
fully like ready to ride one. And then at Amps, they're going to be announcing a wheel that is over 200 volts, which I think is crazy. Why do we need a wheel that powerful? If you
So we
have
can
ever
have more batteries in the same amount of range.
if you've ever gotten in the way of a high voltage wheel doing the death spin, it kind of makes you think, wow, what if that was twice as powerful and it breaks my leg? Because my V13, it hit my shin so hard one day, I thought it broke my leg. And I had a shin guard on. It looked this huge.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. Even when you have pads on, man. I tell people, even when it's like you hit the ground, once you're getting up over a certain speed, or it depends on how you hit the ground, even if you have pads on, it's still gonna hurt.
It becomes very dangerous to handle such a powerful wheel, something that can accelerate on its own like that.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I'm so excited to see these new wheels.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Since we're on this, I'll kick this next one off, and then again, I love to hear. And anyone that's watching, we would like to hear your feedback on the wheels. We'll pop the question up, and then because we need to get everybody involved in here. So my thing with these newer wheels, right? And this goes out for newer wheels and new riders. So please listen very carefully. Number one, I'm not telling anybody how to ride. You ride how you ride. That's how you do it. I'm not the safety police, but the only thing I can say is make sure you get a wheel that, like Jose said, that fits your riding style and that you can handle. The issue with these, like I see some new riders getting these 110 pound, 100 plus pound wheels, and you're looking and you're like, oh, man, you don't look too stable on that thing. And they're winding these things out. The heavier the wheel, when that thing breaks loose on you, the harder it is to get it back. You know what I mean? To correct it. So you have to work your way up if you can. I understand people don't want to have to buy two wheels, but a heavy wheel is no joke once you get past a certain speed, man.
If you could have any two wheels, what would they be?
For me right now?
Yep.
New wheel or old wheel?
Any current wheel.
Any current wheel. Okay, I'm going to take one new one and I'm going to stick with an old one, okay? I like the Blitz. I mean, I actually got to ride it. And one wheel that I still say it's a freaking legendary, iconic wheel is the freaking.
Can I take a guess?
I'm gonna say the Nikola. It's the Nikola.
Yeah.
The Nikola.
Never even seen one.
I love the Nikola. And
I've
again,
never seen a Nikola. Never seen a Tesla.
They call it a Roomba.
You're not missing much,
right? And I have to throw another one in because
you're not missing much of the Tesla.
The freaking Tesla, man! I keep telling the Tesla was underrated.
The best. It is super
underrated.
I just looked up the one that he was talking about, and it actually is pretty good stats.
Yeah, so
it's
that
like
would
Tesla
be me.
T4, T3, or whatever.
But the two would be again the Nick. I still love the Nikola, and then So,
what about you guys?
I would probably. Everybody seems to love the Blitz. I'd probably get a Blitz for jumping and a Sherman Owl for traveling. Just put it easy. I mean, the Sherman Owl, I love the safety features. One of my friends caught his hall sensor cut out on his Sherman S on camera, and it just makes you think like all of those wheels should have the hall sensor bypass. I don't know what you call it. That thing that the Sherman L has that keeps it from cutting out when the hall sensor fails.
Mm-hmm.
All wheels should have that, and all wheels should have a smart BMS. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It would also be nice if we started rocking tubeless tires, but I know there are complications to that.
Right. Yeah, I like the tubeless. That's a good idea. It's easier to fix too,
Yeah, I caught my tube last night in a fit of rage, so. Now I have to find a new one, and you can't just go buy one in person.
Exactly, that's the hard part. That's the hard
angled valve stem.
Where'd you go, Jose?
What?
I was asking what Jose, which two he would choose.
Jose, what's your choice, bro? What two wheels?
2 wheels, I will go with the new big old wheel. Of course, I don't want to sound like but I'm a hardcore Gotway big old fan, and I will go with the Tesla T3.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people, like I say, I live in northern New Jersey, and the roads are congested, so
Yeah.
I like the nimbleness. If I lived in Ohio with open roads, it'll probably be like the Sherman L or something
Right.
big, or something like that. But I gotta, like you mentioned before, you gotta buy the wheel for your riding style and the neighborhoods you live in, like the roads you travel most. So you can have both choices. One where you're gonna go and on open roads, and one where you could just go to New York, take it on the bus or public transport, or someone. Let's say you want to go to your friend's house and you want to. It's just so easy to access public transportation with the T3, and it's at 48.5 pounds. Does 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah,
That's tight.
that thing. When I went to the Blitz demo, Chris Yim. If you don't know Chris Yim, you need to know House of Jobs. Look up his channel. I'll put the link.
yeah,
You know him. That dude.
yeah.
Like a EUC philosopher. Dude knows how to ride, breaks everything down. And he had mentioned his Tesla, and he was like, it's hard to find a wheel that's going to replace his Tesla in New York City. He talked about the
Hard to
weight.
find a control board
yeah.
for a Tesla as well.
Mhm. It's nimble, it's quick. You can pick that thing up, stow it away. And I hit, believe it or not, and I don't recommend anyone if you're riding a Tesla. I hit 34 miles an hour on my Tesla. I didn't realize it until I looked. I was like, dang, because you can cut that thing out. But excellent freaking wheel, man.
So may I add something? The Tesla's wheels are not perfect. There's only one flaw, and it's silly. That tire is too small. If you get it changing, you're gonna bend your rim. It's just you got to change that tire to a 2.5.
Changing that tire sucks as well. You got to pull cords out of like a metal bit on the control board. Like, the build of it's not very good.
No, the build
performs pretty well.
The build is not the best. I agree. The build is not the best.
It sucks to work on. Tires horrible. I put a 2.5 and it changed it. 1 second. What's up, CJ? Everybody, go sub to CJ's channel. One of the coolest riders that CJ's a cool dude, man. I think Dale, you answered this one. Again, let's just try to keep up.
I don't think I got. I'll stick with the links. I'll get a V14.
V14's tight. That's a beautiful wheel. The V14.
A what? V14?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I've ridden that one quite a bit.
That would be my smaller wheel, the V14. But I love the links so much.
Wow.
I've done 10,000 kilometers on it now, which is
already
about 6,000 miles.
Wow. What I'm going to do, I'll put this question back up here too, because I was surfing through YouTube and jumped on Young Vol's channel. So he's fairly new. And Jose, this is for you, man. He got the V12. Got the V12, hooked it up with some Clark pads. And I love his view of it because he's talking about how the pads just changed the whole, the whole form, not the whole form, but the control of the wheel he kept talking about. He kept saying it feels like a whole new wheel. So wheel setup is also important too when you get your stuff, So that's the next segue. What do you guys, as far as your wheel setup? We're going to go with wheel setup, pads, tire pressure, that whole type of thing. You recommend? Gio, we're going to start with you first.
Well, I just told you about all the stuff I'm doing to mine. New E-Rides pedals. Just got some power knobs.
Nice.
If anyone else wants to buy those, you can use discount code SEEDBUGS. Tire pressure, I like it high. I don't know why. Just like 38 to 40 psi.
Wow, that's high. Now, may I ask you a question? Where you live, are there like open roads?
Yes.
Because I think that's what it is. See, yeah.
I have to ride. Well, I do ride over 100 miles a day pretty frequently, just because I live close to Seattle. I live like 40, 50 miles away from Seattle. And I don't like driving my car because of crime and getting my car broken into, so I ride my wheel.
The UC is fun too. The UC is more fun, right?
Yes, it is, and it's free. I mean, like, there's EV stations, and you pay like $1 to fully charge your wheel. It's great.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait, what was the question?
Well, we were talking about like tire pressure.
Oh, yeah. And the power knobs are great. Like you said about the V12, they completely changed the way that the wheel handles.
Mm-hmm.
My backwards game, like, it's like 10 times better. I didn't expect that. Jumping, I feel way more comfortable jumping because my feet actually stay still.
Gotcha.
I don't know if you saw I hit my biggest jump yet. It was a gap jump. And
I think I did see that. You posted on Facebook.
Right? I rolled it over and over and over again because I was so scared. And then finally I was like, all right, roll the cameras. I'm going to do it. Or I'm going to eat shit. And it's going to be fantastic.
Either way.
But I did it.
Yeah, what about you, dude? I know you've been rocking and rolling for a while. What's your take on tire pressure?
I usually run 40 psi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like the responsiveness. Like, I don't like tire roll when you're cornering and all that.
Dude, hello, good night, everybody. Because
I used to run 50 psi, but I was seated riding on my Kingsong 16X, which is non-suspension, and I hit a bump in the road, and I bounced off the seat and landed on the road. And my wheel shot off down the road and went up the curb and hit a bin, like nearly ran into people. I was like, shit.
Oh my god!
So I dropped it down to 40, so I run 40 now. But now we've got suspension, so. But I'm just.
I would never run over 40.
No, for me, I ride between 28, 32. The crazy part with me was there's a channel, love the channel. Is there any food? Mike I would tell anybody, if you're a new rider, seasoned rider, go check out his videos on tire pressure. And once I watch, because when you start accelerating and that wheel starts wobbling on you, a lot of times it's your foot placement. And for some people, it's just that their tire pressure is just too high. And
I had a wobble experience.
What's that?
I had a wobble experience recently. I was riding. I was getting really cocky with my power knobs, okay? And I love bunny hopping. And there was this long strip of pavement that was different from the rest of the road. And I was like, I bet I could jump over that. And I was going 40. Never bunny hop at 40 because I landed like that. And my wheel instantly started doing this very aggressively. My feet instantly came off the pedals. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to crash. So I'll just like go on my back or whatever. And I didn't crash. I landed on the back edge of my wheel, still on it, and managed to brake and pull over and reevaluate my life for a second. But that was crazy. Like, my wheel would have taken off like Dale's did if I had actually dismounted.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's some scary stuff. I know. I was on what was I riding? I was on the T4 Pro. And that thing started wobbling on me. I was trying to get used to the tire, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness, man!" That thing, because I was like, I was just dancing down the street. I'm like, but I'm not
doing the shake.
Off. Yeah, dude. I said I'm not going to bail off. What's up, EUC Lifer? How you doing, brother? Thank you so much. I think he's rolling out of Colorado. Always a pleasure to have you on here. So we're going to answer this question. So we're going to bring the viewers in here because this is a good question for everybody. Pounds. So Ryder, what would you recommend? A bigger wheel? He's asking a bigger wheel for his second wheel. Anyone can answer this, and then anyone.
I ride big wheels. I can answer. My second wheel was a B13, it was the second biggest wheel at the time, 120 pounds, and I loved it. The first day I hit 50 miles per hour, but that's just me. And like I was talking about with Jose, I ride like long back roads, long periods of time. It was a great wheel to ride seated, but it's very hard to control as far as like braking and stuff and turning. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to get a big wheel as your second wheel, just keep in mind that it is like a hardcore machine and you can kill yourself and you can hurt other people and you need to be careful and you need to take it slow. You need to learn how to brake without getting speed wobbles. Because speed wobbles is like a feature of the V13. But they're not like this. They're like this. It's different.
Yeah.
You need to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm. See?
And also the handle in the front is great for emergency braking.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would say get a bigger wheel if you want a bigger wheel. Don't just get a bigger wheel as your second wheel because you think you need to upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on what you want to do. Like if you want to do jumping or something, don't get a bigger wheel. Get a nimbler wheel.
Links
Right.
are right.
Distance.
Dale, what's your take on because I know you rock like smaller wheels for a while.
Yeah, well, I 16-inch was the biggest wheel I had until I got the T4, which is really an 18-inch.
Mm-hmm.
So the Lynx is the biggest wheel I've ever had, but it didn't take me that long to get used to. I really didn't like the V13. That felt really awkward. So like the Lynx, I just got straight away. And now that I'm used to it, like I love it so much, it's the best wheel. Now that I'm used to it, like my second wheel would be the smaller wheel, like just something to have a play around on, but that would prominently be my wheel.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last. What's the last part you said?
I said I can't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the comment. I don't see. This is the thing too, and we have to kind of go back to the future a second. Jose brought up another great point. I'm going to repeat this again because it goes together. You have to figure out if you're riding an open road. If you're on open roads, get yourself an open road wheel. If you're in tight quarters like a city wheel, get yourself a city wheel.
Not a V13.
No. Well,
Yeah.
See, the thing is too, like, I'll ride in New York, and I'd rather take my T4 Pro, my RS19 into New York than taking my EX20S. My EX20S is like a 79 freaking Lincoln, dude. That thing's just a cruiser. But if you have to slip and dip out of traffic, I don't want that type of wheel. I need something that's, that I can get on, accelerate quick, brake hard, brake quick, and make the moves. Go ahead.
I think if you're going to go above 30 miles per hour regularly, you should get a bigger wheel because they're more stable. My V11 was smaller. It was like 70 pounds, 60, 70. I don't remember. And I would get speed wobbles really bad. I actually ate shit super hard once going down a hill. But then on the bigger wheels, it's like you have way more reaction time and leeway. And they're just more comfortable to ride for a long period of time at high speeds.
Right.
You can like sit and like relax.
So we're going to pop this question here. Garrett Taylor, what's up, brother? Always a pleasure when you come in here as well. He says the Sherman L and the Falcon for him. Not interested in racing really. Open roads and portability, yes. Might miss my T4 though for all. Yeah, that's another. I keep telling people, man, that freaking T4 Pro.
I didn't like it.
You don't like it?
No, but I off-road on my Sherman S, and I tried the T4, and it just felt so light and awkward. Like my reaction time is set for big wheels.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
I love the T4 Pro, man. My biggest gripe with it now is the tire. The tire is very grippy on the T4 Pro. I give them the grip, but the tire, in a sense, when you try to turn, it wants to keep you upright. And I was like, I'm turning and I can feel the thing. I'm like, when you hit the seam in the road, think about it. When you hit the seams in the road and you're trying to go this way and it's forcing you back to the seam. So I'm gonna have to change the tire out. I need to make a video on it.
That's called a gyroscopic effect.
Yeah.
It's more prevalent on the tire I just got, the Shinko 244. I like it. I think the V13 has a much heavier gyroscopic effect. It wants to stay upright. It doesn't want to turn. But that means I get to lean more, and I love leaning.
Oh.
So I like it. On the 420 style? Yes? No? Are you caught?
Your master Mike is too funny, man. Oh, shoot. I'm falling behind here. Okay. So what he commented was 50 PSI is wild.
Yeah, I think. But then the weight of the rider also plays a factor. You know, I'm 175 and I ride at from 22 to 25, and I think that's perfect because the contact patch on the tire, which is how much contact your tire makes on the pavement, it's flatter, so it's more stable for me. You know.
I
don't know
that.
about big wheels because I never ridden one. My heaviest wheel is my V12, and Young Volt. That's a good choice for your wheel because that wheel is full of features. And for the price, you can't beat it. I think I strongly believe that, and you could see it riding. You know, it's a good wheel, Young Volt. Yeah.
CJ, I agree with you right there, dude. I rode the Master Pro. I love that wheel, but that wheel, man, it's like, I don't know. It's comfortable, but that thing will keep you on your freaking toes.
Big for me.
It's a big wheel. It
has amazing range, though.
It does.
My boyfriend lives 100 miles away from me, and every weekend he rides his Master Pro up here to see me, and he can do it without charging. Yeah.
And CJ also says the Falcon. Yeah, the Falcon. I didn't get to ride the Falcon, but what I like about it is the build quality. It's portable. You know, it definitely can take a good whack. You know, that type of thing. But it's a good city wheel. That's what I would say. A good city banger.
Small wheel with suspension. That's what caught my eye.
Yeah. I think Emotion's coming out with one that's supposed to be lighter with suspension. Looks like a fishing tackle box. If you see.
They're trying some different things at the moment.
Yeah. So CJ says he doesn't get wobbles on any wheels or ride anymore. Very seldom ever, and only when power stopping. Yeah, that's normally when I get the wobbles too, is like maybe stopping. And then when I get a new wheel and I'm trying to make that adjustment, you know what I mean, as far as with the pads. Oh, here we go. Very important. This is my advice to new riders. When you first get your wheel, I say learn how to ride that thing with no pads on it. That's my opinion. Learn the wheel first, the characteristics of it, stop it, accelerate on it, and then you start making your upgrades. Okay, do I need a new tire? Do I need pads? What type of pads? Because all pads handle a little bit different. So that's my advice. Learn how to ride without pads first.
Yeah, people get overconfident and then they're like, oh, I've mastered it. And then 2 weeks later, they've fucked themselves up.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But you never master it.
I learned to ride my V11 without pads, and I just fell every 10 feet until I stopped falling so much. It's horrible.
The pedals were so high.
I think pads come out around about my 8th wheel. They weren't a thing before that.
Nice.
But they weren't needed either.
I didn't understand.
Pads on the old wheels would overpower them.
Right. Yeah. What do you guys this is a good question here with Young Vote. He says, how much different is a wheel with suspension versus one without? Anybody can.
Pork and cheese.
I ride both. My V13 doesn't have suspension. I would say.
You canceled it out. Nice. I didn't know that.
I took it off because it sounds, and it's just better without it. They handle better as far as turns and stability, because when you're coming into a turn and you have suspension, it compresses, and when you come out of the turn, it pops back up, and that's something you just have to adjust for, and it's fine. But without suspension, you don't have that, so that's nice. But it's way harder on your body, like way harder. And when you're sitting, if you go over a bump and it comes back and smacks you in the butt, you like feel it all the way up your spine into your head. I thought I would paralyze myself one time. It hurt so bad. It just felt weird. Like it's not that it hurt. It's just like, wow, that impact all the way up my spine.
That's nuts. Jose, what about you, brother? Have you?
Well, go ahead. Sorry.
Have you been on suspension yet, or no?
No. You guys are gonna laugh at me probably when I say this. I never use pads and no suspension wheels yet but the thing is, the good thing about pads is I only get wobbles. I only gotten wobbles when I try to ride the 3 beeps like at high speed, because I'm a high speed guy. Just like I fallen so many times, and I don't care. But so when I do the hard braking and it wobbles on me, I actually enjoy that. It's like but I never fell from a wobble. But I do need pads for the front. I think if I ever get pads, it'll be the front because it'll help accelerate quicker. So what I do is my feet placement without pads. My heels. I kind of hug the wheel when I accelerate.
Okay.
And then when I hit the brake, I just use my heel. It's like you said, but you do learn the wheel better. You learn the wheel's characteristics. That's so true.
I got some pads for you too. If you want some pads, I got some.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll try them out. Maybe I'm learning a lot from Jill because she's very technical. She makes some good strong points.
Yep.
Well, I was gonna talk about acceleration. I don't really use the shin knee power pad things, for acceleration. This goes on the side of my wheel, like my knees up against it, and I kind of just grip it. My wheel is all taken apart, so I can't show you. But I squeeze with my knees and lean forward. I don't know why. I think it's because I learned without pads. But
yeah.
I just feel so uncomfortable putting my weight on the power pads because they totally rip.
Yeah, you feel locked in. You feel like you're right because I rode mono rides EUC and they had pads and I was scared because I felt like I was stuck in one place because I wasn't used to it. Yeah, it doesn't give me the freedom to twist and kind of flow with the wheel. I'm pretty sure if I get pads, I'll adjust my riding. Maybe I'll do better accelerating but I really like to lean off the unicycle. So I don't think I'll get pads in the back.
Right. You can leave it loose too. You can leave.
It's just not me.
We got to try it out, dude. Like I said, because we rode before, we got to ride again. So you can come and try out some suspension. You can play around with some of the pads and stuff. And you definitely have to try that out. And that's a good day because I think it's going to rain this weekend, and we don't live too far away.
CJ said night and day. I'm pretty sure it is. That's why I can't say much. I actually don't like to talk about things that I haven't tried. Give out false information and stuff like that. If I didn't try them, I just can't have an opinion on it because it wouldn't be fair for other people. Just if I kind of I don't like that because But what I did notice on my riding style when I rode with pads, it felt like Jill said, it feels like you're stuck in one place and you're not. I like to when I ride. I like to flow, move my heel and my toe. I do. I move my feet around on the foot pads. So I got used to that. Jill's used to heavy wheels. She could probably blow me away on a heavy wheel, and I've been riding since 2015.
Heavy wheels, no joke.
I just hit 1 year.
Yes, that's crazy. You've only been riding for a year too, and you're like,
oh my god, look at that.
That's crazy.
I used to joke about pads and suspension being riding aids for people that couldn't ride that good, but then Bago gave me that T4, and it was a game changer. It really is. I just don't want to ride a non-suspension wheel anymore. And my Lynx is the first one that I ever had proper pads on because the T4 pads, they're kind of there, but they're not like normal pads. But yeah, they are a game changer. Once you go suspension and pads, it's hard to go back. I
gotta try I gotta try the suspension. One thing that I keep forgetting to say, I'm still landing the biggest. I like to call it Godwin instead of Gold because I know that's how I started. Back in 2015, I had the MCM4. I contacted Jane Moe because I noticed something, and I took a picture of the wheel and kind of drew on it. And I said, what about some springs on the pedal as suspension back in 2015? I still have it on my Facebook Messenger. I was like, that was way back. I was like, this thing needs suspension somehow. And look, now we have suspension wheel. That's great, which is great for all of us.
That's something else. As far
what month in 2015 did you start?
I bought my wheel from this fellow from California. You guys, Probably not during the winter. Probably during June, July,
Yeah.
around there. And I met so many people all over. You're that guy that writes that thing. You guys are crazy. I meet everybody like that. I mean,
You become a
it's a
local
perfect
celebrity.
conversation starter.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, it's
And I say, hey, you want to ride it? They're like, you're crazy. I tell them right away because I know they won't.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As
Well, I
far
started in February of 2015. No.
as me,
And what was your first wheel? Sorry.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm my fault.
What was your first wheel,
Mine or
Okay.
Jose's?
Jose?
Oh, the MCM4.
Mhm.
Oh, wow.
That's all.
18.5 miles an hour. And I got it too. And
That was a
dude,
fast
that thing,
wheel
when
then.
I fell off that thing, it actually was so slow that I ended up jumping off and running it off. And I saw the wheel do flips and it just breaking into pieces.
Oh no.
But I was able to put it back together. You know, although the Bigot Gotway quality wasn't that good, it was kind of like a mass produced thing. But I didn't worry about that because I was too happy, you know, experiencing something new. You know, it was great.
Yeah, man. Like I said, when I first met you, I didn't realize you were in the game for that long. And then you start
Yeah, I
getting
used to ride with Tishon.
the Sean Ford.
Tishon. Yeah, he used to have the what's that wheel that no longer
Rock wheel?
Segway. The Segway 9 bot.
The 9.
I used to have 680 watt hours back then. They had like 340.
Wow. Isn't that
I used to go
something
to New
else?
York.
That's
Mhm.
freaking crazy. My take
My first
for
three had
me,
132.
132.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And then they got a 180.
That's like a hoverboard.
It is. And exactly like a hoverboard.
Like 132.
Holy cow. Man, that is nuts, man.
That's like 7 miles, maybe, right?
Yeah.
7 miles.
Yeah, about 6 miles. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I
Wow.
had to do the conversion in my head then.
The thing with me, suspension versus non-suspension, is like I still love riding my RS-19 high speed. It's like a racing cart. It's like a freaking racing cart. You got to be careful with with suspension, how you set up the rebound. Jill, you hit it too. When you hit a dip and that thing is too fast, it'll compress and then it comes up and it'll throw you. Because you look at videos, you see riders come off because of that crap too, man. So you got to make sure that suspension and stuff is set up right. But a non-suspension wheel, man, it's like you have direct access to all the wheel's activity. That's one thing that I still love about it. It feels
It
like
can
More
also
road
launch
feel,
you.
right?
yeah,
Or
it's
road
like
feel.
You see
Yeah.
something you're not expecting, and it's gonna fucking launch you. Last time I got knocked out, it was because I was cruising down the road at night, and there was a lump in the road I didn't see, and then just
Ooh.
off you go. There's nothing to absorb it, especially when you're running 40 psi.
yeah, it's like a hard basketball. It's
You
like
don't have to worry about bumps so much with suspensions.
it does. It'll save you. It's much more comfort. I mean, it's more comforting. It's safer. But I would tell anybody, if you're a new rider too, I would give it a shot because it's a completely different riding style. You know. One wheels, two skis representing Colorado. Guys, go check out his channel. He throws up some really good content as well. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, he does. He puts up some nice trails, man. Let's see if we can catch up here. Remaster Mike. Jose
Hey man, that's what happens with old some when you get older, man, you're kind of set in your ways. And I'm the type of guy that likes to I'm open minded, but I'm old school, man. Like
yeah, dude. You got the experience. You can definitely hear with the knowledge that you're bringing. We got Young Volt here. Staggered feet. Yeah, I rock with a staggered feet stance.
that's good, Young Volt. He's right. That's how I roll my MCM4 staggered feet. Because when you hit a bump, you could offset, like you could throw your weight around better.
Joe,
Yeah.
do you rock a stagger stance or are you straight? What's your stance like, Joe?
Mine?
Yes, it's staggered.
It depends. If I'm tired after riding like 100 miles, then
Jesus.
I will stagger my feet because I'm more prone to wobbles when I'm tired. But typically, I try to ride symmetrically because I'm doing jumps and bonks and stairs and whatever. But I do stagger my feet. I change the way I'm riding all the time, constantly. Just it depends on how I feel, where I hurt. You know, it's crazy thinking about seated riding and how often I have to change the whole way that I'm on the wheel just to turn and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll stagger sometimes.
Yeah. I normally rock a staggered stance, and as far as first, I want to say this too. The Green Master Bike says the Commander Mini is a perfect. I love that freaking wheel too, man. Can't close to get one. It's a perfect upgrade for the V12. I did it and was a happy camper. Yeah, that freaking Mini, that was a nice wheel. I like that thing. I almost picked it up. But as far as accelerating, Jose, you and I, when we rode together, I guess you can kind of vouch for this. When you see me riding in videos, I normally don't post my speed. But when I accelerate, it doesn't look like I'm accelerating hard.
No, it's a smooth accelerate. Yeah. But you take off.
I learned how to accelerate watching you stride. If you look, I use my right foot as like an accelerator and I push my toe down into the pedal. I don't like having my weight out over the wheel just in case that thing gives way. I want to keep my snags, you know.
Yeah.
So, but I normally accelerate that way, pushing my toes down instead of pushing with my shins or pushing with, my knee, whatever. That's how I do it. But you can't. It's weird because when you look at me, it doesn't look like I'm accelerating, but it's just
smooth.
Yeah,
that wheel's smooth, and the way you ride is smooth too. Like I'm more like I like to dip, and you kind of like go top speed, brake hard, and you kind of not crazy, but kind of like and kind of feeling the wheel out.
Yeah.
Like some people do what they call that, the carving. Some people carve. I don't carve. Yeah.
You don't carve?
I use like a pry point.
How you avoid wobbles?
Where I use 3 points instead of 4. I find it's more stable at high speeds.
I read the road.
If I'm like accelerating, I'll have 2 on the front and one on my control foot on the back. If I'm turning, I might swap them over. So if I'm only on 3 points, because you've got your front of your foot, the back of your foot on both feet. If I'm only on 3, I find that's more stable at fast speeds, and then I'll swap between them and that depending on what I need to do, rather than just having my feet planted and moving the whole thing.
See, that's good to hear.
The tri-point thingy gives me more stability because the Lynx is kind of prone to wobbles, so I've eliminated that by doing that tri-point stance.
That's a good thing to say because my feet are dancing on the pedals like Michael Jackson and Freddie Astaire.
Yeah, it might change all the time.
Michael Jackson, Freddie Astaire.
It is, man. My feet are never. It's weird. Again, you have to make adjustments when you ride. If your feet are just steady on the pedals, you're gonna have an effed up day one day.
My feet are all the time from pain. Like on my way home, I start like I'll be riding like this, and then I'll be riding like that, and then I'll be riding like this with my feet, all sorts of stuff to try to like alleviate.
Yeah, we're gonna get Jose on some suspension, man. He's gonna have to do a couple test rides.
Yeah. Have you not tried it at all?
No, not at all. And the thing is, with the suspensions, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I got the V12 and I got a Tesla now, so the upgrade looks like the Blitz, but I'm more like the type of guy that likes to tweak everything to. I think it'll take me like probably a couple of weeks to get it right, because when you travel the roads you always travel, you say, oh, I didn't like the way that feels, so it's constantly adjusting.
You got to do at least 60 miles on it, like 100 kilometers.
Oh, which
for it. Otherwise your first impression might change.
Yeah, and another thing that Young Volt, he has the V12. What I don't like about the V12 settings, it's got so many ways to set it that you almost, if you set something off way too off, it'll throw the other off. This is why I like that way, big gold wheels, soft, medium, hard. I like that. With the V12, you basically have unlimited. with the V12. It's not a bad thing. If you find
Right.
there's actually a video on YouTube of this guy explaining emotion settings, comparing it to be gold. And that video helped me out a lot because when I brake, I like the wheel to lean back like this. So I dig my heels in it and I'm kind of like on an angle like this. I like that about the wheel. And you know, the V12 has got too many settings as far as performance wise.
Look at that. Okay. See, like I said, it's good to hear the opinions of everybody, man, because everyone rides different on the same wheel. It's nuts. And I'm here with Stan, man. I don't like being too locked in, but what got me not liking being too locked in is when I got hit. If you got to get your feet out, that split second can save your life, man. Like if I couldn't have got my feet out of them pedals, I would have went up underneath the SUV and I wouldn't be here now. It was, man, it was like get your feet out and, you know, whatever happens, happens. But I don't want to be rolling up underneath no freaking car, man, you know.
So I got to say I was really disturbed when I got my power pads or power knobs and they're super locked in. Like I could barely get my foot in there. I freaked out by that. But
It's still weird not having the pads at the top.
I can bail really well with them because, like, in the moment, like, oh shit, gotta bail, and you just rip your feet out. But they don't have the shin area. I would not want my shins locked in at all because you need to be able to bend your knees to absorb shock and stuff. So I don't have any
problem too with seated riding. My legs are so long that my knees would hit the darn pads. It was like you hit, bam. It was like,
well, you know, I'm 5'10" almost, so
yeah, you're tall. I
feel it, and it just takes adapting. I mean, I can figure out how to ride on anything if you just give me enough time.
Right.
Like the power knobs lady told me I wouldn't be able to sit, or it would be tight, and it was tight, but I figured it out.
You figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to take more time with seated riding. I think for me, what gets it with seated riding.
Oh, you still haven't figured it out?
No, I can ride. My thing is I can ride seated. I'm not the best at it. Like I haven't got the transition, but I can start, I can start seated and ride seated. Where I ride, Jose, Jersey ain't no freaking joke, dude. I think we lost Dale here. Jersey is no freaking joke. And I want to be able to get up and get out the way as fast as I possibly can. So riding in that seated position, I'm a little
makes you feel vulnerable, right?
Yeah, man.
I feel vulnerable too.
Yeah. It's like one day what I have to do is put a camera on my helmet. Nearly every ride that I go out on, someone's blowing through stop signs. You know what I mean? Where I live. It's
on the 4th of July. Here on the 4th of July, we went to this always stop, and cars were just running the stop light or the stop sign over and over, and it was so scary. I think everybody was drunk or something.
Yeah, man. That's to me, that's the scariest thing right there is just being, because I don't want my legs underneath me like a kangaroo, right? Because my knees will be up to my freaking ears, and that's the scary part for me.
Sensei, I will admit one thing. The seated riding on my V12, I can hit that 43. It feels so good because your center of gravity is so low. And I just learned how to transition about 2 weeks ago, and I had the wheel since. It's almost like losing. When you lose the fear of something and you just do it, you kind of like learn quicker. I don't know if that makes any sense. And the braking while seated riding, the braking is terrible unless you got a handle. You could just throw your weight back. Oh, it's so bad. This guy almost ran me off the road because he made a right turn and he cut me off. Lucky I wasn't going that fast, but
with seated
braking
riding,
is terrible.
What I'm saying about it is you got to change your body position so often, and you can brake, but you have to be willing to like almost stand up while you're sitting. You just have to be willing to completely change how your body is at any moment when you're seated. And that's what makes it stressful is you can't really just relax like you could on a motorcycle.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's a perfect point. Oh, wait a second. This is good. This is for you right here.
CJ, you're right. CJ made a good point. Ride loose. Don't ride with
Thank
fear.
you.
Yeah, I'm a bit loose when I'm riding.
Her outfits are fire, man. Yeah, she rocks some slamming
Always
outfits.
upgrading. I know. I'm really excited for Amped because I'm just gonna wear what I've been wearing, and I don't think anyone else is
Nice.
gonna look as
Big
silly.
helmet thing.
I dressed up in
Good.
pumpkin the other night.
Young Volt, he makes a that's a good point, Young Volt. Yeah. Yeah, because when you hit bumps, your legs are not being thrown around and your foot position doesn't get changed that much. Yeah. And Young Volt, since you got the V12, you know what I do when I do the seated riding? The front bumpers that are let me see, I don't have any. Or the front bumpers that are on the wheel. Hold on, let me see. Do I have it here? Yeah, the front bumpers that are in the front and back. You see this? What I do, this is the back and this is the front. It's got like bumpers. Hold on, you think. So you see those bumpers right there? What I do is I put my hand on here to brake and I put my hand on the back. I hold the back to accelerate and then I pull the front where the headlight is to brake. If you do see them riding, Young Volt, that'll help you a lot. That'll help you a lot. And you don't even need the seat to ride seated on the V12. And I think the V12 seat is flawed. I was gonna get the EXN seat because it's just too high and in the middle. So when I go fast, what I do is like on a motorcycle, I put my butt back and lean forward. So it's because it's almost like it holds you to a designated position, while the Gotway and Bigot, see, it's more of a flat, so you can move around in it. You know, because like I think Jill said, you have to change your position when you ride seated.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're doing, whether you're accelerating or braking. I think that seat is a little flawed by emotion, but the wheel's still good. Don't get me wrong. I'm just being kind of like a perfectionist type of thing, you know.
No, dude. I mean, this is good stuff that riders need to hear. You know, you have one, you've put miles on it, so this is something that they can look out for. Like Stan's saying right here, manufacturers need to bring back non-suspension updated wheels. I think that too, because you have hardcore non-suspension guys out there, or riders, you know. So, Jill, what's up? What's your take?
I got something to say about seats.
Let's do it. Let's hear it.
Try all of them. Like, try your friend's seats. Some of them suck. Like, they're unrideable. There are seats that I've tried where I can't even brake on them, and it's so weird. But, you know, the best seat ever is the Clark B13 seat. It has no flaws. I love that seat so much. It almost is like suspension. That's how squishy it is. But then on the Sherman S, their seat is horrible. It's like I have calluses on my butt cheeks. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even joking with you.
Well, you
I have
ride.
calluses on my
You
butt
ride.
from that seat. And the Sherman S is such an awkwardly shaped wheel that no seat really feels right on it. Some people put a Suron seat on, but I don't like it because you can't see the speedometer. So,
well, the thing with the seats is like it's a lot of times I think they're getting a little bit better, but it's like an afterthought. It seems like to me.
yeah.
It's like okay, let's
I
just
agree.
slap the seat on it. It's like they're not really putting it into the design process is an afterthought. They need to take more time with the seat because it's important. A lot of people.
Seat is great though.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend. The Clark one, not the stock one. The stock one is horrible. I tried that one. It was like sitting on an ice cube. I don't know. It was so slippery.
Oh, yeah. This is smart, CJ. Oh, yeah, Quinn, what's happening, bro? Yeah, man, taking apart wheels when they're crashed is a pain in the freaking butt, dude. I went
Very
through that.
sad. My friend's taking apart his Lynx. Well, he already took it apart. He flexed the chassis, I guess. I don't know. The thing on top that the motherboard sits in, all your stuff's in, he bent it. And so his battery packs were rubbing against his tire.
Oh,
it's just sad when you find more and more broken stuff as you're taking it apart. Like, $300, $600, gotta buy a new wheel.
Right, yeah. That's what ended up happening, man. Sometimes, like I said, I don't want to go down because I mean, getting hurt is one thing. I don't see anyone get hurt, but man, even if you walk away from it and your wheel gets mangled, it's just like cha-ching, cha-ching.
The link is pretty tough. I'm surprised that he bent it or whatever. Because my mate crashed into me, and then then about 2 feet later, I've hit a bollard like across my legs and the front of the wheel, and all it did was put a little crack in in one side of the handle. And I'm like, that thing's tough as fuck. Like my T4 would have got destroyed in that. Like every time I drop the T4, I've got to replace the headlight. You know what I mean? It's actually sitting all smashed up now because I lent it to someone, but. Yeah, it's tough. I'm surprised you make damage here still. Mine's taking a really heavy blow at like decent speed straight into a bollard.
Yeah. You know what? I did interview a guy, and he did he made a trike. He made a trike out of his EUC. It was a beautiful design, man. Beautiful design. Yeah. I don't know if he's doing anything with that. I haven't seen him make many posts on it. But yeah, that was crazy. It was really nice. Yes,
should chuck a link in the comments if you remember.
To Sean too. It's that one of the smoothest riders ever, man.
Yeah. I haven't seen much from Tish for a while.
Nah, dude. I don't even think he posts anymore. That dude, man, it was like watching his videos was crazy. It was crazy.
He's one of the early legends.
Yeah. If you know, you know. If you don't, you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, his signature hat. Remember? Yeah, that's how you know it's him.
Yeah, it's common, Quinn. I think Vest EUs. Well, people have already made them. They modded them with Vest in it, but I think for the major companies to come, it should be coming shortly. I would assume that. I want to try to let's barrel through some of these questions here. Suspension, yeah, I've had a couple of times where suspension definitely bailed me out of a bad situation. Yeah. Let's go.
Depending on the setting, again, depending on your setting, suspension wheels, the damp and rebound, that's crucial. Depends the roads where where you ride, because we live in Jersey, you know how they are, unpredictable. Oh, this pothole wasn't there yesterday or last week or last month.
Yeah, dude. Jersey's now. I'll tell you what, dude. I did Cobra's rally, right? I did the Wheel Life rally. Again, if you get a chance, you got to make it to Cobra's rallies, man. Those things are so fun. Now, this was the nut job part of it, right? New York Tarzan was rocking out on a freaking RS19 torque and rolling. That dude, Declan, was on a modded MCM5, those non-suspension, and these dudes was killing it. They were killing it, man. It's like, again, it's preference, man. Yeah,
it is absolutely.
I heard that Tarzan was doing a race and he was so far in front he turned around and went over the finish line backwards.
Yeah, dude, I was at that race. Yeah,
that's something I'll do if I was fast enough forwards.
That's a first. Never heard that before. That's a first.
I'm fastest when I'm riding normal.
Dude, I think I have it on video.
You get nervous.
Go back and look at my old Real Life Rally videos. I have that clip in there when he rolled backwards. Yep.
That's insane.
Definitely, Stan. 18XL legendary, 16X legendary.
They were. I did 28,000 kilometers on my 16X, which is like about 15,000 miles.
Wow, dude, that's insane. You guys make
that was a guess.
I thought we might talk about this.
The pedal dip.
Yeah, I actually watched 2 people eat shit from it in person on the links.
They put out a
firmware upgrade my firmware.
Oh yeah, they did. There was an extra. Yeah.
There was a firmware update for that. I believe the
50.
Yeah. My mate did a firmware update on his links, and then when he was going downstairs, it'll dip like a cutout, but then it didn't power off, and then it'll correct itself once he was already off it, and it nearly went into the river.
Wow.
But he just reverted back to the older firmware, and it was fine. Like I don't upgrade my firmwares because I don't fix what's not broken, and
gotcha.
The firmware I've got, but I love it the way it is. Like I don't need some firmware update to stop me from dipping when I'm doing a jump because that's just technique.
Wow.
So I don't fix it. I don't change it. But all these problems that everyone's whinging about with the veteran wheels are all because of firmware updates, and like there's often bugs with firmware updates. And if you want to be one of the first people to jump in and change to it, you might be one of the people that finds one of the problems with it.
That's a good point. And this is another thing too, man. When you're on YouTube, man, that's why I always tell people, sub to people's channel, go in there, check out what they have to offer. Like what I love about CJ's stuff, he's a tinkerer. He likes to tinker around and he finds a lot of stuff and will show you how to make your wheels better and things like that. So definitely support the other creators, the riders. Oh, let's just flaws. Yeah, Stan.
I agree with that.
Yeah, they need to work on it.
They need to step their game up. Yeah. Seriously. It's one wheel. You don't have, you're going down, and if anything happens, you're just going down.
They should give like 100 people like a discount on their wheel, and then they're the ones that try the new firmware updates and see if there's any problems. Because
that's a good point.
Often that problem won't happen for everyone, and they're not gonna know about it until there's a lot of people using it. So if they had like 100 people, they give cheap wheels to, and then they do like crash test dummies basically. But like and then they test it out for 6 weeks, and if none of them have any problems, launch it.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is, I strongly believe that this is why they don't have big manufacturers here in the U.S. because a good lawyer will get their hand on that company and be like, "Why are you selling this if it cuts off? Like what are these flaw issues and stuff like that?" I think this is why. I think this is why
never would have got off the ground if it started in the USA.
Oh, it did. It did. Inventus started in California.
But
long time ago.
But it was all done in China.
Solo wheel, I think it was called.
It wasn't. It wasn't Solo Wheel. The first
Inventus.
Inventus.
This is the crazy part with that, right? So if you dive down the EUC rabbit hole and you start looking into it, the patents go back a long way. I mean, you could find patents, but no one made one. The first functioning EUC was made by Trevor Blackwell. It was Trevor Blackwell. He was the first one. Solo Wheel came after.
That was a different design though. That was like the SBU, wasn't it? Like
that was Paul Woods.
Yeah.
Paul Woods took Trevor Blackwell's design and he came out with that wheel that you're talking about. They showed it on Mythbusters.
Yeah, the SBU.
Yeah, the SBU. But yeah, the first functional one was Trevor Blackwell back, I think it was 1992 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was a university in Australia that made one back before Solo Wheel as well.
Yeah, so I don't know how
or Inventors.
How everything just crossed up and then Solo Wheel. It was a weird process, man.
Yeah. Well, Solo Wheel and Ninebot fought it out in court for ages until neither of them were any good at EUCs anymore.
No.
Everyone else overtook them, and then that's why Ninebot bought Segway, so they had the original self-balancing patent, and then because Solo Wheel, which was invented, they had the patent for the original EUC in that round form, like the small one without the pole, and they fought it out for so long that they just both fell behind, and then so Ninebot bought Segway, and then Solo Wheel bought InMotion because InMotion would just come on the scene and they were making pretty decent wheels for the time, and that's how all this come about. It was pretty funny. Just watching these two major ones just fight it out and then just fall so far behind that they never recovered.
It was a bunch of back and forth. And just like you said, dude, it was very weird how that whole thing came about, man. Do y'all have a
Sensei? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't want to. This gentleman asked a question. He said he has to wheels cut off when you accelerate them hard enough.
Okay, let me see it. Is it?
If you go back one comment, he asked, "Do wheels only cut off?" Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Yes, they do cut off. Yes, when you push them to the limit. And my MC Enforcer, I didn't know. I had it on soft mode. And I went down a Ferry Street. It's like a heavily Brazilian Portuguese thing. and I was trying to be cool riding by the club, and I had it on soft, and I accelerated and went down to the ground, picked it up, and did the ride of shame. But yeah, it depending. I think you do like people like to ride the beep. I actually don't because I'm tired of falling. You just you gotta learn your wheel. But I would say, and when you ride three beeps and you hit a dip or
Oh
something
my
you're done.
goodness.
You're
Yeah.
done.
You also get cut out
Brown
from wheel
pants
failures, but that's not as prevalent as it used to be.
What's that, Jill?
That's a brown pants moment.
Right there.
Oh no.
That is, I tell you, this is the thing. New riders that are already riding, advanced riders, you already know this because you like Jill said, it's a brown pants moment. When you're riding high speed or riding the beeps and you hit a bump and you come down, you torque that freaking wheel and you pull out more volts than what,
because you're doing this. Your body's doing this, so you're pushing.
I just posted a video of me doing that off road in my power knobs. I thought I could be cool and go like 20 over this route without like really hopping or anything, and it overpowered my wheel, and it did the overpowered beep. I hate that. It makes me feel like I'm gonna crash, but I didn't crash. I have a lot of videos of me riding the beeps too. It's weird because when you're riding the beeps, it feels fine, but watching someone else do it, it's like, oh my god, you're gonna crash.
That is so true, man.
And Sensei, speaking of the beeps, you know how you get in on I'm calling Gotway. I'm gonna say Gotway Begode. It's like you could turn off second alarm. You know how you get that option. The first one that goes beep and then it goes beep beep. I would like the company to put like a steady beep when you're in the red zone, like beep, like chill out. You know what I mean? Because some people beep 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 beep, you still ride it, but when that wheel goes beep, that means chill out.
That's like flatline. That's like
that's flatline basically. Yeah. That'll be a good kind of like if they take that into consideration. You know, that'll help a lot because sometimes you think you got it, you go half of it on the three beeps, you go 0.3 miles per hour faster, but you still only hear the beep. But in the ECU, it's like, yo, dude, you know, but in your head, it's like three beeps. I would like a flatline beep.
You're right, because when you're riding, it's hard to kind of distinguish between the two. You're like, oh yeah, I got another beep, bang, you're on you'd be on the ground.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
I've got a strong opinion on this.
Say that again.
I've got a strong opinion on beeps.
Go ahead, girl.
I don't hear them anymore.
They're not enough. My friends took a video of me riding a track, and I was beeping the whole time, and I didn't hear it at all. And it's because of the wind noise. Because when you're going,
that's another thing.
That's why I like to right to remind you.
You can't hear them because of the wind noise. I think either your headlight should flash or your wheels should vibrate. I know that you can use EUC World and get the beeps in your helmet, but I don't like apps personally. It's just a personal thing. Mm-hmm. It would be nice if you didn't need them to hear when you're about to cut out.
And Jill, I don't know which app it is, but it says that your phone, you can set your phone to vibrate too. I don't know I don't know if it's EUC World or yeah, it says that you could pick that your phone could vibrate when you're hitting when you.
Would you notice it over the vibrations of the road?
No, I agree.
That's why I like the tilt
I agree.
back.
Yeah,
you get that little bit of tilt back, and you're like, oh, there we go. There's my limit.
I would notice.
I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
I would notice vibration versus the road. It depends on where it is. Like if it's in your seat, you're gonna notice it. Maybe not on your pedals so much.
Probably also what tire.
A flashing headlight would be great though.
You know what I think would work even better than a flashing headlight?
What?
If they had a strobe light that
faced up
towards your that faced up.
That's
and
true.
When it goes off, you would see it because you would see it on your legs and everything. You know,
there are a lot of deaf riders too. I've noticed. So like, I feel really bad for them because they can't hear their beeps. So what do they do?
Yeah, how do they balance? Balance.
Depending on your helmet, there's another idea that you could use. You can buy these things. You know how you put a dead cat on your microphone to stop the wind? They have these dead cats.
Oh, that's what it's called, the dead cat.
Yeah.
What's he
Dude,
talking
you put
about?
them
Yeah,
on your
well, I
helmet
was still
strap,
thinking means
so
dead
the
cat.
wind hits that, and you can actually hear a lot better. But it depends on what type of. Yeah, they have them. I need to do a video on that thing, but they have.
I'm interested in that because I really can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Strobe.
A quick video on that.
So if
I
I
can
want to
hear.
fast, I'll sit so I can actually hear the beeps. Because otherwise, everyone else can hear them around me, but I can't. Very weird.
That's scary. Yeah. Normally, a lot of riders don't hear the beeps. Wow, scary. So be careful, people. Please.
I'm taking notes, Sensei. That's a good one. The strobe one is pretty good.
Check this out. So,
yeah.
This is CJ. So we're gonna bang out 2 questions here. He talks about the Blitz. Jill, you said you rode the Blitz, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I haven't
I
done
no
it.
opinion
But
on
my
the
friend's
big
buying one, so I'm totally gonna
Okay.
try it.
Excellent. So what I'm going to say about the Blitz, CJ, the acceleration is smooth on that darn thing. Accelerates smooth, and it is probably one of the most, I would say, the most stable wheel that I've ever ridden. That thing is stable, man. I was really, really surprised. It's a good
And
wheel.
Sensei, I'm sorry to cut you off. And I love the fact that EUCs are focusing on weight. Yes. I really like that. I think that's one of the factors that the Gold Gotway kind of like focused on a little bit. So sorry to cut you off. I didn't want to forget that statement.
You would rip that Blitz, man. I'm telling you, you would rip that thing so freaking hard because the weight.
How much is it?
It's only like 79 to 80 pounds.
And how much is the length?
The length is
88
pounds.
All right, so it's a little.
Yeah,
it's not a little; it's a lot because you're talking about.
Pardon me?
No, so basically, I'm like a hardcore German car. I love cars. So doing 185 miles an hour to 195, that little bit more means so much because you're pushing the limits.
The rider's
that's what. Sorry.
That difference anyway, though. Someone 4 kilograms heavier. Someone 4 kilograms heavier.
Yeah,
would make the same difference than the wheel being 4 kilograms heavier.
But then again, this goes to my point. I like nimble wheels. So that to me has a bigger meaning than to someone else. Not that it's better or worse. It's just like, for my riding style, I need a lighter wheel. Like Jill needs a wheel. Like weight is not so much of a factor for her because, open roads.
Rain.
Yeah, I'm looking at her and I'm like, she's telling me all these things. I'm like, she rides a V13. I want to hide.
See, this is what I loved about.
Because if you give me that wheel, Jill, I would probably like, no, this is not my wheel. I don't want to ride it because I will feel kind of not uncomfortable.
My dad learned to ride on the V13.
Wow.
That was his first wheel, and then he crashed it and wrecked it. Silly goose! Can't ride with me anymore because.
Oh, no.
He didn't get hurt, did he?
No, he's fine.
Did he get hurt?
Good.
Okay, good.
He might have broken his toe or something, but he's fine.
And Sensei, this could be a segue to when you get a chance, we could talk about protective gear. What should you wear as a beginner rider?
Okay.
I love gear.
If sometimes you say, "Oh, I'm just going to the store," and then boom, you take a spill. You're like, "Oh man, I should have."
Better be going 10 miles per hour.
Yeah. Let me just answer this very quickly right here.
Sure.
Two things about the watts. This is a really good question here. One thing I love about the Blitz, because you were talking about lighter wheels, Jose. Where you aim that Blitz, that's exactly where the wheel is going. You don't have to fight that thing. It's like, I'm going left, I'm going left. It's very responsive, but at the same time, it's stable. Some wheels, you point it in direction, you're fighting it to keep it going.
Let me use an analogy for you, because like I said, I'm a car guy, and you probably guys will understand that. It's like a BMW M car.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the much power, but it just takes that power it has and it uses it perfectly. And that means a lot. I mean, you get a Dodge Charger Hellcat with an M3 around on 21. the Hellcat's gonna lose, but I got 800 horsepower. You only got 500 something. Yeah, but that 500 horsepower, it's used so accurately that the other driver is gonna be. I mean, that's a crazy analogy, but
I understand it.
that still remains true. You know, this is what BMW cars are not known for the most powerful. It's their balance. Maybe this is why I like lighter wheels, because my mind, you know, I owned a couple of M cars, and I was like, I didn't used to like them at first, but when I rode it, I was like, what is this car feels like? It wants to turn more. Like it's asking you. It's like, go ahead, you got room. Go ahead, do it. This is why I'm a big fan. Going again as a fanboy, I think my favorite wheel of all times right now is the Tesla T3, and I only say T3 is because of the 1020 watt hour on that package.
15. The T3 has 1500, and then the T2 has.
Oh yeah. That's it. Yeah. The 1020 is the T2. Yeah. But I mean, come on, dude. It's like, especially where we live. Like, if I live where Jill lived, a T3 might be. I probably won't even consider it.
Nah, it wouldn't be the wheel. It's not. It's not open road. It's a city banger, suburban banger wheel.
The V11 couldn't even make it down the hill from my house without overpowering.
Right. Yeah.
Did you start on a full charge?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, you can't start downhill on a full charge.
But I won't
say
make
that
it back
one more time.
Yes.
Dale, say that one more time so the new
riders. Dude, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You can't start a downhill ride on a full battery.
Because you're putting
going to tilt your back
into
and
the
it's going to
battery.
feel stupid. You're probably going to fall off.
Watching doesn't already know, when you brake on an electric unicycle, it recharges the battery with
regen. Yeah.
I did that on my RS.
You have to make sure that your battery is not fully charged on hills.
It's scary when it happens.
Because when you land on the jump, you're landing on a little hill, and you can overpower your wheel and fuck up.
Yeah.
This is a really good question. We got it. I'm going to take the lead on this, and I think we answered it before, but we got to bring this up one more time because I didn't say everything I had to say. What do you guys? This is Green Master Mike. Thanks for the question. What do you guys think about the 200-volt wheels coming out? This is what I'm going to say right here. Right? Listen very closely. I might get some hate comments, but listen very close. Right?
Oh, you're on YouTube. You're gonna get them.
Oh, I can't bring the smoke, baby. Bring the smoke. So, if you look at what manufacturers are leading with right now, they're leading with voltage. They're leading with speed. Right? Now, most wheels right now have locked away speed. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Like if you take a Master V3, right? A V3, and you change the firmware and the software, that's the most important thing. That wheel will do 75 miles an hour. That's what people don't understand. It depends on the software and the firmware. What is the manufacturer going to let us access when we ride the wheel? You can think about it. The EXN was a 100-volt wheel, and people were hitting 53, 54 miles an hour on it.
I hate that wheel.
And that wheel was capped. But what I'm saying is even a 100-volt wheel could do 70. But it comes down to the firmware and firmware software, whatever you want to call it. That's what's the most important thing when it comes to, like, you can have a 200-volt wheel, but how are they going to program it?
Sensei, I agree with you because on my on the Tesla, that wheel I could accelerate and brake so much aggressively where the motor makes a noise, but it doesn't cut off. But it's 84 volts. I'm like, wait, 84 versus 100. But I mean, I don't know, maybe if it's the weight, but there's more power on the V12. I mean, actually, I got a V12 because I did a lot of research. Okay, what wheel fits me? What's this? Well, I got it. But this is why maybe it made me fall in love and appreciate the Tesla so much more. It's like, wait a minute, this is the performance.
100%. Jose, think about it. Now, if you go back and you look at U-Stride's old videos, U-Stride was hitting damn near 40 miles an hour on an 84-volt wheel. He was riding his high-speed MSP. I think he hit
with his weird shoes. I like his weird shoes.
He would roll, dude. He rolled in those shoes. He would hit 49. I think he hit 49 miles an hour on a high-speed MSP. You know how fast that is on that wheel? So what I'm saying,
now, Jill, I'm sorry, Sensei. Jill, he wear dress shoes to ride a wheel. That's why. That's what I'm saying. The shoes. Go ahead, Sensei. I'm sorry.
That was his patent signature. Those shoes, man.
Yeah, he's on my shoes.
What? And that's going back to Ustride.
Ustride.
Go check out his channel.
His channel is cool. He's an old school rider too. I'm older. He's like an older, but he's really good. He really goes hard.
One of the best street riders out there, man.
I think he has a video on a V13, Jill.
Oh, he did some good videos on a V13.
Yeah,
he did some.
Yeah, he did.
Good, really good videos on the V13.
What's that guy's name? Chooch. He's
Chooch Tech. Yeah.
Team.
Yeah, Jill, let me tell you something. He's a dirt bike rider. This is why his riding style is like that.
Yeah,
I used to do stunt shows on sport bikes. So this is why I like the high speed and maneuvering stuff. So
I keep forgetting you did that, dude. I keep forgetting you did that stunt.
Yeah.
One wheels. That's a good idea, man. That is actually a really good idea. I would love to see an EUC documentary that covers all the wheels to date.
Oh, it'll come.
The history of EUCs.
It's coming. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude, is it?
All right. So, whoever wants to jump and dive off the diving board into the pool with the safety gear, take
Not
it.
me.
I think we should all
was like,
what we wear.
I'd wear a helmet. If it's cold, I'll put some gloves on.
Okay.
Oh, my jacket kind of got pads in it.
Jill, what
no, go ahead, Jill.
You should wear it.
What's your take? Well, no, I mean, what do you recommend? I don't think no rider wears gear all the time. No rider, but let's hear your take on what you do.
I wear gear all the time, unless I'm in my driveway.
Okay.
Or in the parking lot. I guess I don't wear it all the time. But if I'm traveling, yes, I always wear it because I've lost a lot of skin. Wait, what was the question?
Yeah, about the safety gear. What do you recommend?
What do I recommend? So you at least need wrist protection, knee protection, and a helmet. That's the bare minimum if you don't want to get super hurt. Yeah. I fall on my butt a lot, so I have butt protection. You'll see in my videos my big giant butt. That is not natural. And then I also wear elbow protection because I got bullied into wearing it by the internet. And then I ended up falling on my elbows, and I was like, wow, it doesn't hurt. Okay, I'm going to keep wearing this. So I rock.
I did too, Jill. I'm sorry, so we can have a conversation. I did fall, and I don't wear elbow, and I had a hole right here.
Yeah.
So to your point, yes, it is very important, which means like, I'm going to go to the store. Everything will be okay. Got to gear up.
Yeah. I've been knocked out at walking pace, riding at walking pace. I've been knocked out because I didn't have a helmet on and I slid out. Just went down. But I've also been knocked out at 50
gotta remember that you could die even at a low speed. Someone could hit you with their car. I have had multiple friends hit by cars. I had one friend die.
Sorry to hear that.
To a stop sign. So you can always, it can happen at any moment. And that's, my friends and I all started riding way more careful after that happened because it was just very sobering to remember that you are mortal.
Yeah, Jill, let me ask you a question. Did your friend that passed away, was it on an EUC, a motorcycle?
On a Lynx. This is probably the first time anyone's
ever that's recent then.
What? He was on the Lynx. It was on the 4th of July.
Wow.
He was wearing gear. I don't know anything other than that. Nobody knows nothing.
This is the thing, and I will say this to new riders. We all love, and I speak to the new riders because some riders are set in a ways. Again, I'm not telling you how to ride. Only thing I can do is give you advice. You can listen if you want.
We're sharing information and experiences.
Sharing information. Mm-hmm. We love to ride. Everybody knows that. It's fun. But man, oh man, we are skating on a very thin sheet of ice.
Dancing on the racer's edge, as they say.
If you ride, and this was because I had people ask me a couple things, right? A few things. One, is it hard to ride? Is it hard to learn how to ride? For some people, it's a little bit harder, but no. You can learn quick. It's hard to master.
If you can ride a bike, you can learn
Hard
EUC.
to master, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to master, but this is the thing about an EUC, and I tell anybody, if
No,
you
no,
ride
no.
in the street long enough, one, you're going to wreck. Two, you're going to end up getting hit eventually. If I'm
Sensei.
being honest. Eventually,
No, you're right. You're right, Sensei. Which is a good statement you made, because when people ask me, "Hey, have you ever fallen off that thing?" You know what my
Mhm.
answer is?
Mhm.
Even monkeys fall off trees.
It's
Yeah.
true. They do. Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah,
so
man.
they laugh at us. It's like, yeah, no, but it's cool. Once you get it, it's nice.
No,
It's
something we have to tell people. I am guilty of telling people, "Oh, it's so easy to learn. Just hop on." But you have to remember that they're really not toys. They're powerful machines. You can kill yourself
Very.
on them.
Yeah.
I just really want to drill that into people's heads because somebody else recently passed away on a
Can I
Master
mention
Pro.
Yeah,
that?
we had one in
It was-
Australia earlier this year.
I am really
Dakota
tired of
Bell.
hearing about people dying.
Dakota Bell just passed away.
It's gonna happen though. Happens
Yeah,
with everything.
Dakota.
Yeah, so we send the condolences out to his friends and family and friends.
yes.
It's no joke, man.
It's really sad and it's really like sickening to hear about, and it's also very anxiety inducing because when people die, that's when laws get passed.
Yes. Yes. I have that. And I do have that.
Law thing is like, oh
And
my god.
and I have that. That's a good thing you said that, because I wrote here. Riders should respect road rules, and it's for us not to get banned. Like, don't be reckless. Like Sensei said, when he's riding, I saw one of his videos, and he says, when I see a car, I stop, I flag them down. Because if I'm gonna get heat for this. In New York City, it's like, those guys are crazy. They're cutting off cars our friend raced the guy in New York City, and I was like, dude, I like to go fast, but I would have not done that. You know what video I'm talking about?
Yeah. That was the whole.
And I was like, no gear, nothing, just
Them dudes, they race on a whole. I mean, they're riding on a whole different level. I know I could never. Me personally, I can never do that. That's just
you're
me.
like half a second away from taking a spill.
But
There's no room for error, basically. You know.
But those dudes.
So it's a concern for us as from the EUC community. All those things are dangerous. I saw this guy doing this. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen the guy on an e-scooter doing like 65 miles an hour in New York. Did you see that, Sensei?
down the highway.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Oh, I think I saw it.
That's what gets us banned. I mean, listen, if you got to do it, you're late for work, you got to go, I shouldn't be doing this, and then you go do it, but don't make that an everyday thing, because it's gonna,
I don't think isolated incidents make an impact in the long run.
Say that again.
Right, I used to fight for like legalization for the ECs in Australia back in the early days, and I got to the point where I realized that nothing's really going to change anything. They'll do it when they're ready to, and even like people are like, oh, you can't do that, you'll get us banned. I in the end, I found that to be a bit of an ironical statement, because it doesn't do anything. Like, because someone might act stupid on a push bike and get killed, or someone might do something or have an accident on this and get killed, and it's happened with almost every single form of transport that's come about so far, and they're not banned. You know what I mean? Like, even skateboarding was illegal for like 20 years before they made it legal to ride a skateboard down the road. You know what I mean? Like,
they even made special parts for them.
Unless it gets to a nuisance level, I don't think individual actions are going to make any difference to whether it's legal or not. And that's just the conclusion I've come to after all these years. But yeah, maybe.
Well, that's a good point. If you take and you look at cars, more people die in cars than anything else, but it's still legal. Motorcycles, same thing.
But Sensei, people like to point the finger too. Remember? Oh, he's crazy.
But this is the other thing. This is the other thing as well. You have to look at it. Right now, there would be a highlight on what we do because it's still not popular. So if someone does, it's going to push the spotlight on it. It's that whole type of thing. But we're still a very small community. I think someone actually just passed away on an e-skateboard as well. But just be careful, man. And as far as the laws go, they're going to do what they're going to do. And that's just. Go ahead,
Something
Joe. I'm
that
sorry.
gets a lot of riders is sidewalks.
Excuse me.
When you're on the sidewalk, you're really not meant to be going any faster than a walking pace. So when you come up to a driveway or something like that, and you're going like 20 because it feels comfortable, the car that's pulling out of that driveway is not going to see you. And I have known multiple people who have crashed into cars because in my car, when I think, wow, I would have hit somebody if they had been coming. Like I would hit an EUC rider who was riding on the sidewalk.
I'm a little bit passionate about this subject, and I believe that they do advertising campaigns for all sorts of shit. I believe that they should be teaching drivers to give way when they get to the footpath, not when they get to the road, because people fly out expecting not to have to give way till they get to the road. And my ex-girlfriend ran into the side of a car because they just zoomed out, and they should educate the public, because it's not just us, it's bike riders and all sorts of people. Like, they need to educate the public to give way when they get to the footpath, not when they get to the road.
Exactly.
And by educating the public, they could save probably thousands of injuries. You know what I mean?
Well, talking about aggressive too, they'll say, oh, uni riders or whatever, you guys are aggressive. I don't think there's anyone more aggressive on the road than bicyclists. Some of them bicyclists, man, especially with the road bikes.
Are they wankers?
Oh my goodness!
Wait, he said wankers.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I know that. No, I know the terminology. No, but gentlemen,
we've got every right to be, but so does everyone else. So be considerate. Don't be a wanker.
Yes, absolutely. Another great thing that I want to say to new riders, which is very important. I used to ride motorcycles. I can't believe I'm alive because the stuff I used to do. I used to be a stunt show guy, but learn how to read the road. Learn how to kind of look, oh, this guy's leaning to the left. Learn how to read the road quick. Oh, why is this guy slowing down? Why is he going so but if you train your mind to it, it's not going to take you that long. You'll be able to do it like this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm like, oh, this guy's going to make a right. Oh, this guy's going to cut off. This guy's not even looking at me. He's not, he doesn't even know. Because remember, and Sensei, people, you and I know that people in New Jersey, I don't know if I can't speak on other states, they are so distracted here. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy, man. I'm telling you, I ride the bus. Coming out of the bus from New York, going into Jersey, the Lincoln Tunnel, you can look down in the cars. People I see on their cell phones. I'm like texting, reading a book on a,
Then you look at a cop car and they're looking at their fucking big ass screen.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I got automatic braking.
Come on. It's ridiculous. But look at this comment here by Green Master Mike. And this is why I say, again, if you wear gear, that's fine. If you don't, that's all. I tell everyone.
So you best not crash.
Dude, he was on a Master V4 cut out at 61 miles an hour and walked away.
I've never even gone that fast.
I tell you what, that's not bad, Sensei. I fell at 129 miles an hour on a CBR 929 on Route 3. You know how Route 3 by Clifton. Check this out.
I got stories about Route 3, man. We'll talk about that off stream, dude.
Check this out. But when I fell, of course, I was doing something stupid. I was doing that on third gear on my friend's 929. When I came down, I caught a death wobble. And the bike actually threw me off. And all I did, this is why I learned how to fall. I have friends that fell on motorcycles and they try to get up or stop. And what they did is they threw themselves up in the air again. Yeah. Broken bones, broken collarbones. Yeah. So what you got to do is just slide and don't fight your body. So I slid backwards. What's that?
Let your leathers do the work.
Oh, dude, I was wearing my leather that day. It was like a brake. When the leather hits the ground, it stops you. And no strawberries. But you know what? I wasn't wearing my gloves. I had bacon in my hands, dude. Yeah. I had bacon because I slid and whoop.
Dude, that's funny. I can actually see. It's not funny, but I can see the picture. Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, but riders, please, new riders, please learn how to read the road, which is the pothole, the road You're always traveling. What people do on that road, some people go on the left turn only lane and get on the go straight lane at the last minute. Learn your roads because you're on one wheel. You don't have an airbag. You don't have a bumper. You don't have side curtains. You don't have a door. So you gotta, you gotta kind of like read the road. And you know what? The younger you are, the more kind of like invincible you feel. But please try to take care of yourself. This is why I have a helmet. I'm going to the store. I have a helmet.
Never ride somewhere where if you fall, you will get killed.
I'm going to go super fast. Oh, you know what? I got a helmet. That's not cool. It's a modular helmet. So I gave and I have a German helmet here. So I gave myself not to have an excuse not to wear a helmet. Oh, I don't want to wear this one. It's too clunky. Wear the skateboard helmet. You're only going down the street.
Do it up properly,
instead of not using anything at all,
Last time I got knocked out is because I had a skateboard helmet on, and I'll use that as an example. And when I come down, because it's got the foam in it, when I come down, my head squashed it, but because I wore it loose, so it didn't feel like it was choking me out. When I come down, I hit that and it squashed all the foam, but then it slid up, and then I hit my forehead and I split my head open here, and I knocked myself out. And that's just because the helmet wasn't done up properly. So
you know what? That's another good point. And my stunt shows.
No point having it on if it's going to come off when you crash.
You're absolutely right, and thank you for mentioning that. Thank you for sharing with us that story. I had a stunt show partner that passed away. A car ran at red light, hit him, but he had a full face motorcycle helmet. You know what happened? He didn't strap it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
that is unbelievable.
The reality of having your helmet done up properly.
That's a good point, and thank you for making that point because it's actually true, very true.
If you're into stunts, do you know Eddie Fiola, the BMX rider? He's an old guy now.
He's an older rider.
Yeah.
Wait, a BMX or sport bike? Okay, I was like BMX. A sport bike.
No.
I actually have my Instagram channel. I don't take it serious. I just randomly post. I got my motorcycle video from Sensei. You know the Pulaski Skyway? The bridge in Newark, Pulaski Skyway.
I don't know.
I did that whole thing on First Gear back. Yeah, so I have that on there. So basically, if people don't believe I used to do these things, there's proof there. I'm not like this type of guy. I like to keep things to myself and let people find out on their own. I'm not like, oh, check out I don't take my Instagram kind of like only with close people, but people need to protect themselves. Like he said, click. It just takes click and that's it. If nothing happens, good for you. But it's better nothing happens. Yeah, but if it does,
man, you got it.
Yeah,
it doesn't take much for that thing to come off. Yeah, I don't know, man. Again, we're gonna move on, but it's a personal choice. But I always say make the best choice.
Yes.
For you. Not even just for you, but there's other people on the other side that it can affect too. So
I don't like fighting with people who don't wear gear because I don't want to watch you die or get super hurt. If that's what we're talking about. I stopped paying attention for a second. Are we talking about gear?
Yeah, talking about gear. Yep.
Sorry. I tend to go on a tangent sometimes.
No, it's good, man. So Stan says, any opinion on NOSFET, the new EUC manufacturer under the Leaper umbrella? What do
we have to wait?
Yeah,
we just have to wait.
There's not enough information.
Very good.
What do you have to say, Dale?
Oh, I like it. I'm just a bit excited for it. Now that I know that Leaper Kim are going to be manufacturing them, and knowing that that's pretty much going to be like a fucking rival to EB sort of thing, I'm pretty excited to see where it's going to go, to be honest. I don't know much about it yet, but not many people know much about it yet, but unless they're on the inner circle. But
I will say this. I will say this to your point. When companies compete, the consumer wins. So that's a good thing. A newcomers coming into the EUC market, and I hope they do things the right way and do. With experience. Yes, yeah.
Like Leaper Kim, he used to work for Begode. It's Keith's cousin, and the King Song, they used to work for Gotway, you know, like in the early days, and then they took off the MCM2 controller, and then they made the first King Song, and then they went from there. So it's like it's growing. The thing is, like, when you're a child, you don't realize you're also watching your parents grow up, and that's I kind of feel the same way with these EUC companies. Like, people expect the world from them, but like we're only like 12 or 13 years in,
Brand
like.
new.
And so it's still. I mean, I think it's just past its infancy now. We've got these high power wheels. I think it's in its teenage stage, but I think we're going to see them go a lot further. And I'm excited to see what they come out with in like another 5 or 10 years. You know,
I agree.
And you made a good point again. The copyright laws in China are way different from here. Way different. They say you got to make X. If you copy somebody's stuff, the only way you could get sued if you make X amount of money, then you get sued. You know, so this is why you said this person used to work for this person, started their own company.
Product every month.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, that's it. Right.
This is what we're going to do here. So we're getting comments on the Blitz, right? This is what I say about the Blitz. And hold on. Oh, I'm put there. So Green Master Mike again, great question. He says the Blitz, and Stan has something about the Blitz too, talking about the likes and dislikes of different riders. So the Blitz is just a dolled up Master V4, but $1,000 more, only weighs 8 pounds less. I agree. I agree to it. I mean, if you're looking at the performance, it seems to be right around the same. I had made a video thinking that the Blitz, they would have it to where the thing could do 70. There's no reason why that wheel can't do 70. I'm going to say it right now. Again, if you have a Master V4 that can do 63, there were riders doing 63 miles an hour on it, and this thing is supposed to be the race version of the Master V4, and it weighs less. Why isn't this thing doing 70? Again, firmware, software. So they're capping it. I get it. But with that being said, Stan, I rode the Blitz. It's not a perfect wheel, but the wheel feels really, really good. And anybody that gets that wheel, you're going to be happy with it.
It has potential to an experienced rider, right?
Yeah. Well, even non-experienced rider. The only thing what's going to happen, someone like you, Jose, Jill, even you, Dale, if you push that wheel, you're going to rip through that freaking battery because it's.
That's true. That's just
that's
the law of physics, man.
The length already exceeds everything I need it to do. Like, I don't hit the top speed, so I don't need a faster wheel. Like, I just
Sensei,
it's so good.
You made a good point. If you go hard on that wheel, you're going to drain the battery. Jill might need battery range. We don't need it.
I don't need it. That would fit me perfect.
I don't want the extra weight for the batteries that I don't need. So this is why I said, and you and I said this at the beginning of buy the wheel that fits your riding style and where you live. Focus on that. Don't worry about it does 75, 80, 100 miles an hour. Of course, I'm exaggerating to kind of paint a black and white picture. Mm-hmm. Buy the wheel that's suitable for you.
Yeah. Right.
You don't need the latest and greatest, the one most raved about. You just get the one that's right.
If I buy the lightest wheel in the world and the fastest wheel in the world, I'm gonna see Jill zoom by me like, Jill, see you, sucker.
Yeah.
Because if I go where she lives, now she comes here, she's gonna have difficulty dipping and diving and braking hard. So
I ride in Seattle all the time.
I hear a challenge.
Oh, you don't know Jersey, girl. You don't know New Jersey.
The thing about
Jersey,
what's crazy, you'll be riding on a nice, cool road. All of a sudden, man, you out on a freaking highway or you out on a tollway, man. That's the scary part about riding in Jersey. So. Yeah, it's a weird place to ride. It's fun, but you got to
set maps to no tolls.
What's that?
Just set Google Maps to no tolls.
Yeah,
or set it to bike.
That is so funny. But this is another good thing here. Big shout out to Ben. Ben is one of the Pittsburgh riders. If you haven't ridden in Pittsburgh, you go there, look up Ben on Instagram, Facebook. One of the best riding guides out there. Pittsburgh is a fantastic place to ride. And Ben, I agree with you 100%. Waiting too long for the next In Motion announcement. Now, what the heck was that? So The announcement they had that I've only seen was that one wheel, that light suspension wheel that looked like a tackle box. But then they did mention a high voltage wheel though too in motion, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I'm excited about the one that projects on the ground. They're gonna have a wheel that's got something that projects on the ground. I don't know whether it's gonna have your speed or whatever, but
That'd be cool.
people have been talking about that as a mod for years.
Yeah,
Like,
they had like
and
little
a
lasers,
company thing.
but
It's not going to be. It's not going to be a fast wheel or anything. It's just like a small novelty or like a chuck in the car to grab out the car sort of wheel. But it's got this cool little feature, and I hope that it works well and it catches on.
Well, I
Because
think
if you're going to be cruising along, your speedo's on the ground in front of you, like, especially in night time where you'll be able to see it vividly. That would be wicked, especially on a fast wheel.
Right. Yeah.
And that solves that problem with not hearing the beeps as well. It can fucking go bright red and flash or whatever on the road in front of you.
Almost like a heads-up display on a car.
Yeah, but it projects on the ground. You know that you get them things. You can get them things where you open your car door and it projects the logo on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like that, but like projecting out your speed or whatever in front of you. I think on the high speed wheels that'll be really good, especially when you can't hear what your wheel's telling you. You know, if that
comes at a price. Great idea. That comes at a price from manufacturers.
Not very pricey though. It'd probably only cost them about $15 a wheel to do it. You know, it's China.
Check this
Good
out.
point.
Check this out, Ben. Yes. Now, are you talking about that steep? I was there one day when you did it. If you're talking about that really, really steep hill in Pittsburgh, he did climb that thing on his V11 with no problem.
So is that a high torque motor?
Nah, he was just on a V11. I was there. Ben, please put in a comment if you're talking about that really steep hill in Pittsburgh. I think that's the one he's talking about. Yeah, he climbed that thing. I was there that day when we went on a Pittsburgh ride.
How long is the hill?
That's a good question.
I will see if I can post it up.
I tried to go up a very steep, like maybe 500 feet hill, and I got halfway up, and my wheel was like, "Get off of me!" and it tilted back and stopped. So,
okay.
Again, this is where weight comes as a big factor because the V13 is a big boy, you know, and it's probably
we're talking.
It's probably
V11.
geared up. Oh, he's talking about the V11.
Look at that.
I was talking about the V11.
CJ, I'll vouch for him. He takes great care of his wheels, and he gives you great deals. He says he has a brand new V11 for $500. You pay the shipping and carrier pickup.
That's good.
That's all right.
Oh, dude.
That's all right.
Oh, dude. That's beyond. That's beyond a good deal.
That's ridiculously good.
Yeah.
Don't buy an expensive high-end wheel to learn. It's
you're
throwing you. And if you do buy the sleeve cases, e-wheel cells like the neoprene stuff, the extra $120, $130, $150, it's worth it. It's worth every penny.
Are they the Rollins Z ones, or do they have their own ones going on?
Oh, Sensei, don't you have that? Sensei, don't you have that Russian fiberglass stuff for one of your wheels?
Oh, I have it on the RS19. It's
I think that's you gotta pay. It's worth it.
It does. It's not the prettiest looking thing. Some people say it takes away the look, but man, it's a fiberglass.
Sensei, that's fine. It takes away the look. Learn, and then you could take it off because when you crack this, when you crack that, you order the replacement parts, and it's going to be more than the protective gearing.
Yeah, I don't even think honestly. That wheel can take a freaking knock with that shell on it, dude. That thing can take a knock, especially when you put your pads on the outside. Yeah, that thing can take a really good knock.
Is that like the thing that Phantomus had on his?
Yeah.
I
don't even think I got mine from his YouTube channel. Oh, EUCU. They don't make them anymore. You can't buy them off them anymore.
Well, can you buy an RS anymore?
Well, you can still buy an RS. E-wheels
probably.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I wonder how old the batteries are in those.
Well, he has to.
Yeah, that's my concern with old wheels. If I was to buy a T3, I would be concerned about how long has that battery been sitting. And this is a good segue to talk about. I don't want to take over the conversation, but battery charging limits and when you store your wheel in the winter. I read articles, many articles from different people. The optimal is 60% charge state to store your
We're not
wheel. Be-
we don't have
because
snow and
when
shit.
you store your batteries at 100 or 90%, the chemicals inside the batteries, it
190.
stresses the batteries out. That's what I've read from many, me trying to take care of the batteries, because as we all know, the batteries are a big component to the cost of the EUC.
I'm sorry for laughing, dude. I'm not laughing at that. I'm like these dudes wearing Yeezys while they ride. Nah, dude. Oh, you guys can wear the Yeezys when you ride. I'm not. That's funny.
Easy.
The sneakers, man. That is funny. Oh man. Yeah, I heard Roger and Marty, one of their recent live streams, they were talking about storing their wheels as far as what battery percentage and stuff like that. So I've never had a problem with my wheels as far as with storing them. So I'm not sure about that one.
Just ride them. Take them all for a ride. If you can't take them all for a ride every now and then, get rid of them or give them away. Give them to someone that can't afford one. Don't just let them sit there just so you can boast about how many you got. If you're not riding them, move them on.
I had to get rid of one because I wasn't. I think the max wheels that I can have is 3. If I have more than 3, I'm not going to ride them all. I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I only have 2 right now because I sold my V11 to someone who wanted to learn, and he crashed it and got hurt right away.
I got one because my T4 got smashed by someone I lent it to.
Oh my God, Jill, that is a good. I'm going to share some. I wanted to start something. So Emotion just released that wheel that Inventus released with the 2 wheels, the E20, the E20. I was gonna, because I get so many people that pull me over, even cops. Can I buy that for my kid? Oh, I want that. This is so cool. I need this to get to the bus stop. And I was like, the E20 is such a good. I was gonna buy that, teach how to ride an EUC, and then let them, teach them the things about be careful, read the road. But the E20, if you ever wanted to do something, Jill, around your way, because selling someone or giving someone a one-wheel stuff for them to learn, and they don't have the mental capacity or maybe the fun factor you have within you, and then they fall and they're like, oh, I don't like this anymore, or they get hurt. It's like, okay, learn on this and learn the basics on the EUC with 2 wheels.
If you fall and think you don't want to ride anymore, then you should stop, because
that's a good
you have to want to learn.
That's a good point.
That's a good point, Joe.
Are scared and you don't want to do it, then don't do it, because you have to really want it.
Great statement too, George, what he says here. If you can stand up, you can learn to ride, but it takes way longer to become proficient than people are willing.
Yeah.
There you go. That's true. That is true.
I'm still learning stuff all the time. I feel like I'm just now polishing off some of my skills.
That's a good thing too, CJ. Yeah, that will be with the riders' names on it. But this, riding is, I don't know, man. It's like I said, it's very
a passion.
It is. It's a passion, and I think you have to be. We're a very rare breed when it comes to this type of stuff. We're like the wingsuit flyers, parachute.
Oh, you seen those guys? Those guys are nuts.
Yeah, but you honestly think about it. You gotta be. And I'm not going to call people. I don't like saying people crazy. You have to be an adrenaline junkie if you want to ride on one wheel, doing some of the stuff that we do on these things. You have. Yeah, it's no joke, man.
Did we lose Dale? Did he just leave?
He might have lost connection. If he'll come back, hopefully. If he does, we'll bring him back in. I saw a comment that I wanted to put up here.
There's something I wanted to talk about as far as in-motion wheels go.
Yes, let's go.
So the reason that you don't see me ride my V13 very often anymore is because in hot weather you cannot charge it, and it's very annoying. It overheats when it gets to about 80 degrees outside. You can't fast charge.
What's that? The what? The V13?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's very problematic for me because I like to travel very far away, and I need to fast charge.
Jill, you're making a good point because on that article that I read, the charging limits to store, it also
I'm back.
indicated the how batteries they operate optimally at 70 weather. Like
Yeah,
Teslas, they've been, and I'm a fan of cars, including electrical cars, because if you love something, you got to love it across the board.
sure.
When it's
Unless
too
it's
cold, the
EUC, I don't
temperature
like
range
E20. They can fuck off.
it's terrible. When it's too cold, terrible. When it's too hot, they don't like charging. So it just they're more like temperature sensitive in a way, if you want to put it that way. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah, I agree with your statement. Yes.
I've ridden in freezing cold, but that was on my V11, and I didn't really pay attention to anything back then, so I don't know how the battery got affected.
Right.
But I
You'll
can
lose
certainly
range.
ride it and charge it.
Yeah, you'll definitely lose range in the cold. But what I love about the cold is your wheel won't overheat. Well,
Yeah, that is
Shouldn't
nice.
anyway.
okay, so we have a question here. If everyone can let the viewers know where you're from, I'll start. I'm from New Jersey, and I work in New York City, so I kind of cut my rides in between New Jersey and New York City. Jill, where are you from?
It's easiest to say I live near Seattle in Washington State.
Nice.
But I live
Dale,
out in the boonies.
in the boonies.
Australia.
Yes.
I'm in Australia, mate.
Nice.
I'm in Perth at the moment, but I travel a lot.
I'm from northern New Jersey, and obviously, New Jersey. It's like we got. How do you say this without saying it? What's that?
Do you know the situation?
Oh, Jersey Shore. That's south of us, man. That's about 3 hours south of us. That's funny.
So the thing here in Jersey, we got like rural towns, and we got cities, and we got hoods. So and we're very close. Like Jill, she's probably got I went to North Carolina when I was doing stunt shows, and one of my fellow stunt riders had an accident. We had to drive 30 minutes to the nearest hospital, which over here they're like 10. There's a hospital here. So everything is closed. So I'm from northern New Jersey, so this is why I like wheels that are lighter on speed. I mean, light on weight and kind of fast at the same time. This is why I like the Falcon and the Blitz. The V14 is out of my. It'll be useless to me.
I think you'd like the V14 because if you like the V12, the V14 is basically a V12 with suspension and a little bit better. Right?
Okay, okay, that's a good point. Now
you're gonna try it.
No, and that's fine. So how can I go?
Has anyone got one?
What's that?
Has anyone in local got one? Do you do group rides where you are, and can you try?
No, I'm actually like a lone wolf. Sorry, I'm actually like a lone wolf when I ride.
Okay.
Unless I'm riding with Sensei, around, his. By the way, I like the little route you have, Sensei, by you. It feels like you're in another state in crowded New Jersey.
It's crazy.
Oh, you can't tell us New Jersey. It's so nice. It's so laid back. And by the way, fellas, New Jersey is kind of like overcrowded for the most part. We're like the most populated. We're like 10th on the most populated state in the United States of America. Number 10th.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Griffin, is that still happening?
Yeah, it's supposed to be shipping. Well, again, it's been.
Because a bunch of people bought the Griffin. Now they're like, oh, here's the Blitz, and then they're like, oh,
it looks good.
Oh, well, that's Sensei. He made a good point because I have my notes here. To his point, do you think EUC companies are putting out too many wheels and not focusing on like 1, 2, 3, 4 good wheels? That would just throw something out there, put version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops! Now let's make another wheel and let's make How about you stick to something and just? This is why I think I like the Tesla because it's a V3 version. They were more focused. I know the build quality wasn't great, but you see how Tesla did the version 1, version 2, version 3.
Right.
But then they killed off the Tesla, and now where's the Tesla? But that's
T4. Well, it's the T4. the T4s and Tesla. I do think they're putting out too many units because they're canceling out their own sales. If that makes any sense,
True.
what I'm saying, it's like, okay, we have the Blitz. All of a sudden, within another month, something else is coming out. That's so
it's hard for the sellers as well because they've got to change their pre-orders and shit. I mean, like people are changing their pre-orders and then they're like, well, now we've got these we've got to sell, but people don't want them anymore because there's this new one, and now we're going to sell them at a discount and we might lose some money. So
people are selling their nonsense.
It becomes dangerous for the dealers to buy a shitload of their new wheels.
Oh, to invest. Yes,
they outdate it before it gets there.
True. Agree 100%.
I think the balls, man.
I think the Goat specifically should just slow down. Like, I think they've come a long way. Like I used to be. I don't know if you know my history with Gotway, but I used to be one of the biggest haters of Gotway on the interwebs. But like then they sent me the T4 for free and a 360 camera to try and sweep me up a bit. But like they actually have improved. Like, I mean, there was a reason why they changed from Gotway to Begode, because their track record was pretty fucked. But
it is.
Yeah, I used to sell wheels like 9 years ago. I was selling wheels, and in the end, I stopped selling Begode because Gotway. Sorry, it was Gotway then, because 85% of the wheels I sold needed warranty repairs. And then there's King Song on the scene as well, and I never had to fix a single King Song except mine that I broke.
That's
so I was I got on their case a bit, but like I feel like we need to get on people's cases when they do something wrong, because that's what pushes them to improve.
Yeah,
but they come
Sensei.
along.
Yes. And sorry. George is making a good point, because I don't want to. I don't want this to go not paying attention. Emergency maneuvers are the most under practiced skills. That means your safety. You should practice. You know how you practice that? Heavy acceleration, hard braking, learn how to turn.
Idle on the spot. When you stop, idle on the spot. And it's hard at first, but eventually you get better and get better. And what happens when you practice idling is you get in all these peculiar situations, and then with practice, you'll learn how to correct it. And then if you're going fast and you get chucked into one of these positions, you'll already know how to correct it, and you'll save yourself from crashing.
I gotta say,
in my experience, idling is the most skill-building exercise you can do on an EUC. Back and forth on the spot. The floor is lava. Okay? But
really?
That throws you into these positions, and you learn like the little twist will pull you straight again and shit like that. But like you'll learn by idling on the spot, not going fast, you'll learn more evasive maneuvers or like corrections than you would with any other thing you can practice on an EUC.
Yeah, but I'm not. I mean, if you do have a good point, but I think that belongs more to beginner riders, because how you gonna react to a wobble at high speeds, practicing doing slows, the back and forth. What
you learn is what maneuver to make to straighten up from that position. So
high speeds are different. The high speeds.
You've also got to learn that. That's another thing, but I agree. Yeah. In general.
Yeah, pendulum is important. It's definitely important.
Joe, go ahead. Joe, you were gonna say something, Joe.
Right.
So.
That you said you agree with the slow stuff.
Idling will help you learn where your body is on your wheel and how to react.
I'm talking way past that. I'm talking advanced level high speed.
I'm advanced level high speed rider, and let me tell you, when I broke into those wobbles, what saved me was messing around on my wheel at low speeds. Like the videos of me riding with my feet straight out, that's pretty much how I landed on my wheel. And the only reason I was able to save it and stay straight is because I was already comfortable in that position, because I practiced it.
Yeah.
And then
I understand, but sorry, go ahead.
So idling, you do get yourself and you go back and forth, but then sometimes you lose your balance and you have to like do that. And it just can you pendulum?
Me, I can't.
Yeah. So this is the thing. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying here in Jersey's different. You might catch a wobble and you have time. Over here, you don't have time for anything. You got to stop. There's a car in front of you. We're overcrowded here. So it's just like, okay, if you go fast and I catch a wobble and I got to stop, what do? I got to stop in 25 feet. So you get what I'm saying? I'm taking in what you're saying, but I'm like, she's right, but that doesn't work here, especially on a V13. Like
Well,
it's just a heavy wheel. It doesn't work here. I mean, here, like in my riding style, it doesn't work.
Emergency maneuver is a good one to practice is emergency braking. Try to see how fast you can stop before
Oh, remember when I said that I love the guy where it has an aggressive braking that the motor goes, "Ugh." My V12 can never think of doing that. I'm serious. I'm like, how did this wheel not cut off? I did emergency braking one time on my V12. I'm like, and I almost felt it shut off. I'm like, and you know what? I was the biggest critic for Gotway because of their build quality. But since my riding style, I'll trade build quality for the performance they have. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Very quickly. Again, Ben, if anybody, again, his events are freaking awesome. He says, if you're in the Pittsburgh, Baltimore, New York, DC, we'll have a ride October 5th, October 12th, I'm sorry, at the abandoned PA Turnpike in Breezewood. Nice. So if you're in that area, check out the abandoned Turnpike. Ben, I will be at the Electrified Expo, I believe, in Long Island. They're having, I think the Cali riders and everyone are all coming. There's going to be a big race out there. So I don't know if I'm racing, though. I don't have a wheel that's fast enough to keep up with any of those guys. Not that I would keep up with them probably anyway, but, so that's where I'll be. But definitely anyone else, show some support. That abandoned Turnpike is known to be a really fun event. So, yes.
What's the Turnpike? Is that like Thunder Road in Greece?
What's that?
What's the Turnpike?
It's just like a tollway, like a highway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's all. But it's been abandoned for years. So you got just, it's all closed off to traffic and everything.
And Miss Jill. So if you say, Jose, come here and ride with me, you'll probably run circles around me.
Oh, probably.
I got a wheel for you, Jill. I got a wheel
because your riding style. But if you come to Jersey where I live, it's different. I'm going to be concerned about you. It's like, Jill, you got to be careful around here. People work this way. So I'm just saying, like I said in the beginning of the video, our riding style and the wheel that caters to your riding style. So that's back and forth practicing doesn't work for me. It doesn't. It's just, to me, it's just like, that's like getting your driver's permit on an electric unicycle. You got to learn how to go fast, stop quick, turn left, turn right. The V13, and this is why I'm a big fanatic of lighter wheels, because I know the burden. Like the BMW M5 now, it's got an electric motor. Everybody's so mad that it's heavy because it's physics. If you got a car that's lighter and with the same power as a heavier car, you're just not going to be able to maneuver. So you go. This is why my mentality goes back to cars, because it's my riding style.
I would say I would go with Jill. For me, I still think what she's saying, the low speed maneuvering will definitely work.
I think that
it's just technical. It's like, Jill, I'm going to say this is.
Wait a minute. Sorry, guys, I misunderstood that.
Hold on.
So I thought low speed maneuvers that you hold on to a wall and you go back and forth. You're saying going slow.
She's talking about.
Sorry about that. I misunderstood that.
Completely.
Yeah, it's completely.
I misunderstood that. You guys are absolutely right. I'm like, wait a minute.
I have a video.
It's putting yourself into unusual positions and then learning how to get out of them.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you can see this video. Like
I can see it.
Yeah. That stuff works. It works.
That's on sand. Too.
Okay.
That's a little harder.
I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying, this is why I said driver's permit, because you were like holding on to a wall and going back and forth. I'm like,
see why you thought that was stupid.
Yeah, my apologies. My apologies.
Yeah,
I'm
really
so much.
I wasn't say anything.
That's why I had to come in and be like, let me level this out. No, she's 100% correct on that one.
No, she's absolutely right about that. Yeah.
It's useful because you really improve on EUC by building up your muscle memory. It's not like oh, I'm so smart, I'm gonna figure this out. It's like you have to build your muscle memory. So when you have the muscle memory of yanking your wheel around while you're staying balanced on it, it really helps with high speed maneuvers. You just have to deal with like the force of your velocity or whatever.
I mean, to me, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. Check this out. Can I say something very quickly here?
Go ahead, you're the host.
Big shout out, Stan. This is really, really good.
It's true.
EVX.
That was my dude.
Oh my
Great video. Great videos.
Right?
Quality
EVX
videos.
had like movie quality content.
Yes.
Same with Tashawn. He had like movie quality. It's like some of these guys that were making videos way before me, they don't make any content. And I'm just like, man, I wish they would make content. Their stuff was so good, man.
It's a shame because EVX is such a talented video maker.
Yeah.
But the best video he ever made is he took it down. Do you remember that sad video where after the alley cat race, and everyone's up in fire about that because people are cruising through and there's like a lady with a pram and like scared the fuck out of him and that, and like people are up in fire about that, and Mickey somehow felt personally attacked about it. And then, and I was even sticking up for him because I liked Mickey at the time. But then, he made this sad ass video where, with all these, the production of it was amazing, of course, like he always does. But there was all this sad music, and he's walking up with his wheel, and he's giving his wheel away, I'm leaving the EC scene, and it was fucking it was so pathetic. And then, I was sticking up for him, and he got all defensive, thinking that I was one of the people having to go at him. And then he fired back at me, so I was like, "Fuck you!" And I made remember that "Leave Britney Alone" video.
Yeah.
I made one of them, but I'm like, "Leave Mickey alone,"
Oh yes, I remember that one. Yes,
that was good.
But that was gold. But yeah, Mickey's very fucking talented, but.
Great quality.
You gotta give people a little bit of stick if they fuck up. You know what I mean? It's what keeps them from doing it again.
But content was fantastic. He was a phenomenal rider.
Oh, dude. Yeah. He used to get Law to do all of his stunts on the videos, but he could ride, but his video making is impeccable.
Oh, so Jill, here's the this is a street that Ben was talking on. It's Canton Avenue. It's the steepest street in the USA.
I just Googled it.
Not the longest. He made a video. Yeah.
I can see the V11 making it up that hill. It's not too.
It looks
long.
See, that's the thing with the video. You ever notice when you see a hill on a video, it doesn't look that bad, but when
nope, it does not.
In person, it looks like a wall. I know. Or jumps look tiny in videos.
Yeah, crazy.
Have you ever got wobbles going fast down a steep hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, scared the fuck out of me.
That's scary. Yeah.
I was in Tasmania, and because where I grew up, it was pretty flat, and then I went to Tasmania, and they got some steep ass hills, and one of the steepest hills in Launceston, I was cruising down it, and I started getting the wobbles. My wheels going, and then there's a car right behind me, and I'm thinking, why aren't they slowing down? Because I'm about to fucking crash, and then and I was like, oh man, I freaked out. I thought I'm going to go down, and then my wheel's just going to tumble into that intersection down the bottom because this was a long steep hill, and I'm like,
that's scary, dude.
Right, and I was almost at my wheel's limit because I was on the 16X back then, and I'm like, I can't even speed up to try and correct it because I'll cut it out, and I was scared the crap out of me, and then I had a hill phobia for about 2.5 years after that. So I'd get to the top of a steep hill and I'd be like, oh, and I'd fucking walk down some.
I've got a bit of a hill phobia.
I got through it,
I crashed. I was on my V11. I started going down a hill. I couldn't slow down. I don't know if it cut out or what, but I got the wobbles really bad. Next thing I know, I was laying on the pavement. I hit my head and I think I blacked out because my wheel was down the hill. That was when I messed myself up really bad. And I learned if you sit, you can't wobble. But it's harder to break.
Yeah.
But if you carve, you can't wobble. So
you can carve out
aggressively down the hills. Because I'm so scared of the hill I live on. I got the wobbles real bad on my Sherman, and I was like, oh my god, because there were cars coming, and then there's a curve at the bottom, and it's like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna run into a car and die.
Wobbles are no joke.
It's
Like, I
scary.
think downhill wobbles are freaking worse.
Get the fuck out of me.
Stan,
Yeah.
94 pounds. The Griffin, I think, weighs 94 pounds.
Wow.
Pardon me.
I think so. Okay. All right, guys. I have to say this. I have to say this. Okay, so Stan, they say he's talking about the E20, right? So he says
I fucking hate that thing.
Right. Correct. Okay. For
I
the best
bet
way
the
to run.
motor
Sorry.
console thing on it when I wrote it.
This is my thing about the E20. I think I told the story before. But I'm gonna tell it again because I think it's a banger. Here we go. So
It is.
okay, hear me out.
It's an embarrassment.
My
It is a banger.
sister learned how to ride a bike with training wheels on it, right? I never learned with training wheels. So when she learned with training wheels, my sister really never learned how to ride a bike the right way, but she could ride a bike in circles. She used to ride to the right. We had this huge patio, and she used to ride around this freaking pillar, like this pole, in a circle because she had training wheels. It would always lean, and you would see the way she would lean because that one training wheel was just like wore down almost to the freaking metal. But she never learned how to ride the bike right because of the freaking training wheels, man.
Mm-hmm.
But she could ride in circles.
The thing is, getting the concept.
What?
It didn't work with the
getting the concept with the
it
two
didn't work
wheels.
with the InMotion V3, and I don't know why they think it's going to work now. Maybe because the scene's bigger.
Okay, no. To your point, we have to understand people across the board, and this is what I try to do. When people see one thing with one wheel, they're like, no, no, no. When they see one with two wheels, they'll be like, okay, they'll at least try it, and that'll separate real EUC riders from the like, this is not for me. You know, it's
people that can't learn, like if you're not determined enough to learn to ride a EUC, you shouldn't be seen on a fucking EUC.
You have a good point,
especially one that's not even an EUC, but it kind of looks like one.
No, you have a great point, but we have to understand as human beings that not everybody is like you.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Like you have the drive. Maybe that E20 sparked something up in somebody. You know, they'll be like, "Oh, I really like this. I got it," because they didn't have the fear of tilting over when you don't go fast. When you don't go.
Again.
I ate shit on the E20.
You know what I think would be a better idea? It feels fucking weird. It's not like an EUC. I mean, you can learn to go forwards and stop and go backwards.
Thank you for this conversation. They had training wheels for EUCs. Remember, you put them on the outside of the pedal?
Yeah.
Yes.
They used to have it, yeah.
Most EUCs 10 years ago come with training wheels. Wow. And then some people started using brushes, like broom brushes.
Yeah.
And they put them under it, and that worked. But I think a better idea, if they're going to try and make it for something for beginners, I think instead of a dual wheel, they should make it a tri-wheel with like the center wheel being the prominent wheel, but then the two outer wheels being just a tiny bit shorter, like training wheels, so people can learn to pivot on it. And then
I'm writing that down.
And then those side wheels should be removable.
That's even better.
Training thing. This twin wheel thing is fucking pathetic. I can't stand it. I don't know why it eats me up so much, but I can't fucking stand it.
What I think works for newbies really well is a shopping cart.
Well, your shopping carts are all right. With ours in Australia, all four wheels pivot, so you go and the shopping cart goes. And you're like, in America, I believe you got two fixed wheels and then two steering wheels, so you can kind of steer it. But with us, it just goes where it wants.
Right.
Yes. So yeah, there's a little difference between the USA and Australia there.
I'm sorry. Greenmaster Mike's asking if you're going to AMP games, Jill. So.
Yeah, I am racing at AMPs next week.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look forward.
Me neither. I hope they catch me crashing in 4K.
No, you'll be fine.
No fear. That means no fear. She's ready. She's ready. Man, she's mentally ready.
The peak of my life. If I die there, then that's it. I'll live full life.
Don't say that, but hopefully you're wearing your protective gear. But yeah.
Hey Dale, this is for you. What do you think about VESC, and do you think that it has a future in EUCs?
I've seen what it's done for one wheel, which isn't that hard because one wheel used to be a bit pathetic. Like we used to do group rides, and it's like when the one wheels run out, that's when the group ride started, you know. But now there's a dude in Brisbane in Australia. He's got a vest that does like 60 or 70 kilometers an hour, so like 40, 45 kilometers miles an hour.
43
and like they're coming up. So in their own right, I think it's all right. And Vesk is helping that a lot. And I think until we see a few people actually getting into it, I'm hoping Austin Marhold will fucking have a dabble with it and get something going, and hopefully that'll inspire a few people. But I think we might eventually see races won by Vesk riders that know what they're doing and can like put their own shit in, their own firmwares in that might be faster.
Austin knows his stuff too.
Doing.
Austin knows his stuff too, man. Remember
I know Austin's
he's a wheel wizard,
way
man.
back, and you know, like he's made his own wheels before, and I think he'll be the man. I think he should get on board with NOSFET.
Oh, that would actually be pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, I mean, because he lived in China as well for a little while. He knows all about it. Like a lot of people these days, because the industry is growing so quickly, a lot of the new riders, which is a large portion now, don't know fuck all about the old riders. And I think Austin Marhold is definitely a name that they should look out for, because he knows his shit.
Yeah, he's been a dude. He was one of the original. Went to China, rode all through there, made his own wheel. It's good to learn the history, man, and see what came before, you know. Oh, yeah, Greenmaster Mike agrees with you, Jill, as far as with the pendulum. Same thing, Dale. Yep. Good stuff. We're going to try to blast you so we can catch up with these comments.
Yeah. That's a while ago.
Yeah,
I got
I'm
my
sorry, guys.
over here with the comments coming up as they come up.
We talked about that.
I forget what the last one was.
Okay. We got Young Volt gone to sleep. Thanks for stopping in, man. He's probably asleep by now.
If all these people, chuck your YouTube link in the comments, not on the chat, but in the comments on the video, and I'll subscribe to all your channels.
Yeah, true.
That's it, man. Everybody subscribe to everybody, man.
I don't even have a YouTube channel. Everyone tells me to make
one.
You come right out here, you're definitely getting a YouTube channel. You're not leaving.
You can call it Jill Thrills.
You would blow up.
That's a good one. Jill Thrills. That's a good one.
Jill Thrills. Jill Kills.
Jill Thrills.
You know, we're talking about
thrills and reels.
We're talking about beginner wheels, like the what was that, the E20 or whatever. One of the best. Now, I'm not going to say it was one of the best turning wheels, but one of the best wheels to learn on was like the Z6 and the Z10. Remember that?
I hated them. They're horrible.
But the thing is, the wheel was so wide. It was a 4-inch wheel that you could literally stand up on that thing, and it was like it didn't want to fall over, but it was hard to turn. That was the thing.
True. But I think the Z10 looks awesome too. I think it looked the way it looked back then. Awesome.
The Z10 was before its
time.
they're
pretty good in water as well. Me and my mate rode through a flood, and
it was built like the
I ended up pulling my 16X out and walking just in case, and he just kept riding, and he got through, no worries.
Yeah, that thing was built like the tank. It was built like the freaking Batmobile.
I mean, look at 9-bot scooters. Like, they make most of our rental scooters, and they sit out in the rain all day, and you know, like they make good shit.
Yeah, that is weird. How the scooters sit out in the rain all day and they're fine, and that the wheel gets a little water in it and it's ruined.
You buy like
you buy a high end scooter like a Carbo or a Nami or whatever. You ride them in the rain, they're fucked. 9-bot do good shit. It's a shame that they don't do EUCs anymore.
We've got the Lime scooters here, like the city scooters that you can rent and totally just like left out in any weather. And
yeah,
they're fine.
If you ever see a 9-bot 1P model come up for sale, snap it up because that shit is rare as fuck.
I don't want that scooter.
They had the E plus. They had the C, the C plus, the E, then the E plus, And then they made the P model, which is when it started going from 25 kilometers an hour up to 30 kilometers an hour. This is back like the MCM3 days, MCM2, whatever it was. And they discontinued it soon after because they had a few problems with them, and they just didn't see worth going through. So if you ever find one of them, snap it up, because that should end up in a museum one day. That'll probably be the rarest EUC you'll ever have to try and find. If you're into
What's that?
shit.
911P?
P model. P model,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm gonna look that one up.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
It didn't last very long. It didn't get much. Like a few people got them in their hands, but then it just died off.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Austin. Yeah, dude. He
There's
says
thousands of E plus though.
you put a vest on a couple wheels. I remember he was saying that in the live stream. He was
yeah?
That dude, man.
Austin, fucking send me a follow on YouTube, and I'll when I get the notification, I'll follow back. I don't know what your YouTube is. Oh, it's Screenmaster Mike, isn't it? I'm an idiot. Sorry.
Uncle Bunny Slippers. What's up, dude?
Bunny.
That's it.
Love
Bunny Slippers. That's cool, man. Yeah, it's wow.
Captain, send it in the chat.
Captain, send it. Yeah, put everything in.
He's actually out the front of my place.
oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's touring Australia in his Winnebago, and he's got his cat with him. So that cat's seen more places than anywhere. At the moment, he's over in Perth, and I hope my mum's not watching because I'm gonna head back to Adelaide in about a month, and we're gonna cruise together in his Winnebago back to Adelaide, where my mum lives. Nice. And I'm going to surprise her because she hasn't been well. I'm going to go say g'day. But yeah, Captain Send It. Check him out as well. He's got some cool footage. He's not bad for an old part.
Yeah, I think I'm proud.
I don't know. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. One wheel, two seats. How do I sub that? Yeah, just I'm Electric Unicycle on YouTube and Insta. Like L unicycle, but electric. And I had it first.
oh, yes, you did.
I got my t-shirts made. People are like, oh, you can't call yourself that. And I'm like, fuck off. I've been calling myself Electric Unicycle for like 5 years.
Yeah, you've been up there for a while, dude. For a while.
Yeah, and so Unicycle, PS by CHO.
I think we...
And I'll follow anyone back. Because I like to support my community.
Yes, don't forget to put your YouTube channel name on the comments. We'll follow you back.
Yeah. Everyone that decided to watch the show today. Yo, come in.
He said Austin was telling me that there's...
I don't want to show you the rest of my caravan. You're going to have to come over here. Sorry, Captain Tender just walked in.
Wow.
Hello, everyone.
I'm going to try and turn the thing around. Where's my
What's
thing
up,
over
man?
Here?
How we going?
I need better lighting.
It's all good, man. All good.
Yeah, I heard I was mentioned in the chat, so I thought I'd better come and show my face and let everyone know who I was.
That's so crazy.
Show this old bugger off.
Nice.
Been summoned like a demon.
That's it.
Oh, man.
You have called.
See, I mean, this is what it's all about. And I try to say this in my videos and on the channels, man. It's like, if you can, always try to show support for each other. You know, our community is growing, but it's still very small. And
yeah, it is crazy small. It's weird how popular like I am. Like I went seriously, I went to
I know, I understand what you mean. I clearly understand what you mean.
I went to another state in my country and people knew my full name.
It was now.
It was weird.
yeah, that is nuts, man. It's cool though. It's cool.
Is it cool? Because I have no privacy.
Well, what's going to happen? I mean, you ride good. You're putting out the content.
And, I mean, I'm friendly. I like
trying to get my lighting right. No, that's fucked. Just turned off.
But well, you're good at what you do too, so that's a good thing.
You stand out very much, rightfully so. You know.
I know. I want to be visible on the road is the thing, so I like wear my skirt, funny hat, and like.
I did tell you that style. I said, I'm telling you, that style was slamming. When I first saw it, I said, I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot. Yeah, the skirts are nice.
Yeah, I've been getting complimented on my style since the early days.
That is awesome.
Before I wore gear, people were like, "Ah, she looks like Zelda." Then I had to wear gear.
That is funny.
You rock that helmet. I must say, every video I love seeing that big helmet. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Don't wear it when you're racing, though. Take that thing off when you're racing.
I am. It's gonna.
I know it's gonna look cool, but it's gonna wind resistance and shit.
No, whatever. I've gone 50 with those bunny ears. I just hope there's no rules against it.
No,
I actually come to Perth for an EUC race. It was my first ever EUC race, and then I realized I'm shit out at racing. Like,
I bet I am. We're gonna see.
I get nervous, and then I get the wobbles easier. So like, and I'm not allowed to drink first, and I ride heaps faster when I'm drunk. So.
And he's running on a dirt tire too, so he hasn't got a street tire on when he's racing. It's
But yeah, I realised I'm a shit racer. I'm not going to pursue that career.
I'm going to race on the 244, which is not great for pavement. It's like really knobby.
It's good for dirt. Like I said.
Oh, the bunny is a great green master, Mike. I'm just saying, when she's racing, it might be a bit better for aerodynamics. Because she's going to have some fierce competition. I think she's going to do. I'm so excited to see these races because I think you're going to do really well. But you're also who else is going? Is Maribel or Dawn going? Because they've passed.
I haven't heard anything from either of them.
Okay.
You might need those extra couple of seconds of wind resistance.
Yeah, no, I'll be fine. See, they'll be distracted by my bunny ears, and then they won't do as well.
That'll work.
I'm really curious.
Wait, I just see that shadow coming up.
I know, intimidating. Bunny ears are coming for you.
That'll put the fear in them. Just change it to the Donnie Darko rabbit.
They do kind of like get in the way of my vision. So I had to pin them back with like safety pins.
What is it? Velcro to your helmet?
What?
Is it Velcro to your helmet? The ears?
No, it's just
like a cover.
Hold on, I'll get it. I'll show you.
Yeah. I saw someone had an elephant one.
Take a piss.
Someone had one shaped like an elephant, but I don't know how. I mean, I don't know, man. You have that trunk come up. I don't know about that. We're gonna rock it.
Famous helmet.
You. That is. I've never seen the eyes on it.
I know. Yeah, I have my visor up. So.
Yeah, I've never seen the eyes. That's funny. That is crazy.
I never seen the
got
eyes
like
either.
teeth in the nose.
That is freaking awesome. I've never seen the eyes.
But yeah, I didn't pin this ear back, but this one's pinned back. So.
That's
but yeah, it'll like totally block my vision.
Use a bit of hot glue and glue them back so they stay back.
Well, the safety pin works good. I don't know if you can see it. Wait.
You glue them back, it'll be like Flash's horns on his helmet.
Yeah.
But maybe the ears will give me some stability, like the airplane thingies. You know what I mean?
You might take flight.
On the airplane wings, they have those things that like control them.
Yeah.
See, I'm used to the bunny ears now, so they help me.
That's
wow,
true.
Gail, you look different.
I know. I've replaced him for a little while. He's just on his way back in now.
Bunny made a really good point. I see more older people getting into riding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends are like way older, like 40s, 50s.
Are you talking about Marty, Sensei?
Well, not even, dude. I don't think I'm one of the older riders too. I'm not. Yeah.
How old are you, Sensei?
What's up, bro?
How old are you?
I'm 52.
Oh yeah, you got a couple on me.
Yeah, I'm 52.
I'm 48.
Yeah, 47 myself.
How old are you, Jill?
Yes.
Am I
Don't
allowed to
guess
ask
the
that?
don't guess the
21.
girl's age.
21.
Yes,
No,
you
it's
guys
got to be 21.
What?
21?
Older.
22.
Older.
No.
24. I'm almost 25.
What? Spring chicken.
Young.
So
I turned 25 in December. What are you gonna get me? For my
you were born in the 90s.
Yeah, 99.
Oh, you're old school.
Barely. I was born December 20.
Oh, where's that back on?
I don't want to say my birthday. I was born December 20 something, and
What, in 99?
in 99, yeah. So I just barely made it into the 90s. I was almost couldn't imagine being born in the 2000s.
Uh-oh. That should be your theme song, Prince, 1999.
I love that song. I love that
Maribel and Dawn got some competition with you.
I don't know. I'm scared of that.
Oh, Dawn.
Don't be scared of
No,
anyone. Just
none
do
of
your
y'all.
race.
Dawn is fast. She goes to the
Yeah.
She rides fast, yeah.
a few times. I think my top speed is like 53.
I think I've never gone. I think I've gone 43, almost 44 in my RS, and that was the fastest.
What's that in kilometers?
They don't go that fast.
What's
Can
that?
anyone do the math on what 44 is in kilometers?
It was like 70 kilometers.
Yeah, it's
I think the fastest I've ever been is 75 kilometers. And like when I get to 70 is pretty much where I'm like, you don't have pads on.
So you can go way faster.
I find at that speed, sitting down is a lot easier to get that higher speed.
You don't have to go into it.
That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting down, you could accomplish.
A lot of riders.
It's
Yeah.
harder to stop, harder to maneuver. You know what's really hard is penduluming while sitting. It's almost impossible, but I've seen people do it.
It's very, very tricky.
Also, going
I
backwards
would
while seated
do
is
it for
very
like
hard.
4 seconds.
I've done it like one time, just one.
I do remember that, George. I
Back
think it
in
was
stage wasn't very hard though.
the 85 and 87-year-olds on riding EUCs. I think I did see that.
See, I worry about older people because your bones don't take a fall as well.
Nah, they can. To me, I'm just being completely honest. In certain cases, age is just a number. About 2 months ago, I had to freaking choke a dude out on the sidewalk. Now,
I seen that. Is that the video?
dude, the thing is, man.
That's the video. I'm like, Sensei's
dude,
not that type of guy.
No, but my biggest thing is I'm not the toughest dude in the world. I'm not gonna bother anybody. But if you're gonna come jump up in my face, and I warned you 2 times, and the third time, if you keep jumping up on me, I'm gonna rope you up, and that's what I did. So, but nah, I mean, you can still be older and be in really good shape. It's how you take care of yourself in your younger years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're just an angry old man.
Right? Oh man, you guys, that's a good one.
Oh man.
You guys are freaking hilarious. Yeah, CJ rolls out to 52. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah, I don't think I've gone faster than that on the Sherman. It's scary. It beeps so much.
Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah, he's getting a Falcon. Nice, Bunny. Nice. Yes,
That EX30 is a nice wheel, but it's heavy. It's 100 and something, right? 110. The EX30.
109.
It looks weird from behind because the batteries look so small compared to the size of it. Like you'd think that they would have just filled up the whole side with batteries instead of just those little blocks on each side.
Oh, here's a bit of history.
It looks strange. I just feel like
a bit of history, right?
They didn't really use all the space that they could have.
People talk about small wheels. Dale, you might remember this. I'm not going to say the rider. I'm going to see if you remember. On the M10-3. Now, remember, the M10-3 only has an 800-watt motor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hit 33 miles an hour on a freaking M10-3. You remember the rider?
No.
Remember V?
That sounds crazy, right?
Remember V? V.
Hey?
V.
V?
Yeah.
Oh, Vanessa?
Yeah, she hit 33 miles an hour on an M10.
That's crazy.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
She can
I
route
haven't
too.
seen much from Vanessa lately either. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tosh the TV, doesn't she?
Yeah,
Sorry.
dude. I don't think she makes. I
Yeah,
don't know
but-
if she makes content. I haven't seen her post anything.
Yeah.
Those little wheels go so well. Like I was blown out. Like I haven't ridden very many wheels. Like I haven't been in it half as long as Dale, but those little wheels, the power of them and just
There's no one in Australia.
It's crazy.
they go good.
One
They're
wheel.
This is
amazing
the
little.
longest stream I've ever done.
Uh-oh.
Is
Yeah,
it?
we're gonna
Been
we're gonna
nearly
start
3 hours.
fading it down in a bit. We're gonna
Almost
start
3
closing it out.
hours.
Much. Oh yes, one wheel, two skis. Thanks for showing up, brother. Thanks for all the love. Take it easy, man. Yeah, it is. The community is awesome, dude.
Yeah, this was a fun one.
It is awesome. What we got? Greenmaster, my top speed at some of these races is about 45 to 50. Dale, how's it feel jumping over people? Oh,
I must have seen that video.
I saw that, dude. I saw it. I would have knocked that dude out, man. I would have knocked that. I would have ran right into him. That was good. That was a good jump.
And I jumped over the links as well with like a little kiddie trike in front of it.
I scared him when I stopped. He thought I was coming over him as well, and then I pulled up. He's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, that's
I was
great.
sure that he missed that he spoiled a good run of two, like a double jump. I'm like, oh, you messed it up.
That was freaking awesome.
Sensei, I have a good question for the whole panel and for the viewers.
Cool. What we'll do, we'll answer this question because we made it down to the bottom.
Perfect.
Of the and then we'll start.
You got it.
Out. Yep.
Got it.
Let's go. What we got?
So, my question or viewers' questions?
What do you have?
I have a question real quick. You don't have to answer it, or maybe we can leave it to close out the show. What do you think about the future of EUC? Are they going to get faster, safer, smaller, heavier? Where do you think the manufacturers are going to go with it? I mean, the whole panel could answer this. It's because right now we're at a limbo. It seems like we're going to lighter wheels now, but they're still making heavier, faster wheels. So
I want all wheels to be safer.
see, that me too.
I think safer myself too.
I think safety.
We're going to get safer.
On the wheels.
Well, they're starting to. Leapkin's doing it with the Sherman L. And with
the Sherman L is a great example of safety and smart VMS.
I didn't know she was doing it with their rapid controller.
Yeah.
Like I haven't actually had a cutout in years.
Now, well, you had that problem with the
but that was only just with the firmware.
That's what I was talking about earlier with the firmware when it was going downstairs. It was tipping out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think for me, definitely BMS. Jill, you hit it right on. That's every wheel should come with a BMS now. Definitely safer wheels, but I want to see better battery tech. Battery, it's out there. They're just not putting it out. Better battery tech.
I think that all wheels should have a kill switch, like in motion wheels do.
Oh, the Lynx doesn't have a fucking lift button. You got to turn it off.
The Sherman doesn't have a kill switch either. It's like, what the heck?
With a bigger wheel, if you're going to go upstairs with a bigger wheel, you just push it from the back and it'll climb the stairs.
Yeah, but
I seen somebody do that.
If you go to the handles, it'll spin up as you're doing it. But if you just push from the back, it'll climb the step. And you don't even. It's only if you got to put it in a car or something you've actually got to lift it.
Oh, have a good night, CJ.
I encounter fallen trees and whatnot.
CJ.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, I did see that, Bunny. Yeah, I did see that. I don't know if it was Facebook or Instagram. Last Sunday, it was a free day. It was great riding with the Belgian PEV ride. Yeah, I think I did see that. Someone posted it.
We're going to ride today.
So I think that is it. I think we ran through the comments. A lot of great participation. Again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. The panel, all y'all are amazing. If you guys want to make any last statements,
I want to make one. Jill, thank you for. Sorry for getting your thing confused, but thank you for sure. I thought you were just gonna hold the wall and go back and forth. But that technique you mentioned, it's very helpful. Very, very helpful.
Good luck on your race, Jill.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, good luck. Yes.
Try my best.
Show 'em what you got.
Good luck.
Honestly, probably just gonna like get really scared and come in last.
When you get your nerves on, that's when you get your wobbles. So be
You know, I
careful.
was thinking maybe I'll take some pre-workout and then I'll be really
Oh, jittered up.
yeah.
And I want to also say, I want to say thank you, Sensei, for doing these. These are awesome, these live streams. Love watching them. And
I appreciate it. I really, really do, man. It's like I said, it's just awesome to get people together and hear what everyone has to say. I say everyone has value. Doesn't matter if you're new, if you're highly advanced. You know, we just all pull together and learn. Just learn from each other. I hope everyone learned something. I sure did. I learned some good stuff tonight. And we'll end it right here with thanks, Sensei. You're a great streamer. Appreciate you, Mikey. Really do. Yeah, man. And he says thanks to everyone. Jill, Dale,
Master
Jose,
Mike.
Captain, everybody. Thank you so much. And
Thanks for having me,
remember,
mate.
you get on your will. You ride it like you hate it, but you ride it like you hate it. You be safe out there. Jill, thank you. Dale, thank you. Jose, thank you. Captain Senate, thank you. Everybody, thumbs up. Thanks for joining us, everyone that tuned in. What did we do? 3 hours? Was it 3 hours?
Almost.
Oh, so it goes for another 5 minutes. Just make it 3 hours.
Push it.
All right, everybody, have a great, great night and ride safe.
Everyone, put your
See ya.
YouTube in the comments, and I'll try and follow you.
Yes, put your links in the comments.
I love the links. I'll probably just say one more thing.